DP.
Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the four Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, live from the Capital One All-Star Village in Atlanta, just steps from the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Here's Covino and Rich.
All right, well, hey, you got it on Covino and Rich in for the great Dan Patrick today.
Yeah.
What's up, buddies?
Day. Good morning from the West Side, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
Sunshine.
And if you want to watch us do our thing, which is a cool robot with the xylophones. If you want to watch us live in studio, we have a new YouTube channel. So subscribe, see our stupid faces, talk some smack. People are chatting live. Covino and Rich, FSR, Covino. Covino and Rich, FSR, in for DP. Always a pleasure. When the boss says you want in, we say, absolutely. Let's go. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're normally on 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East. But good day. Hope you had a Dodgers sort of night.
I'm going to tell you in a little bit why I feel like the Dodgers, they've just been effing with us for the last 6 months. I feel like it's fool me once, can't get fooled again. I feel like the Dodgers have completely screwed with our heads since April. I'll explain why. We're going to talk some Baker Mayfield today. We're going to talk about duos. We're going to talk about cheeks. We're going to talk about everything.
Cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk cheeks for weeks. We always talk cheeks. You don't even need to say that. But you know what else we do every hump day? We turn your hump day into a hump night.
Type of actor right now. The Mannings are behind it. My thought was, well, if no one's talking about it, it must sort of stink. That was my thought. But things get lost in the shuffle, like you said, when there's 20 different streaming services and everything going on. But I watched episode 1 last night. I'll leave it at that. This is no commercial. I gave it a shot, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was funny. It made me laugh at times, like out loud. Like it's by no means clean. It's like a dirty show. Like the jokes are, crossing the line. There's sex and drug references. It's a wild show.
Is this a solo watch, or do you watch with wifey? Like, does she want to tune in, or should I watch by myself?
My wife thought it was really funny. I don't know. Everyone's wife is different. Some people's wives
That's true.
Are lame.
But there's certain things, like you end up watching by yourself because your wife has no interest in it.
Yeah, but then again, there are shows that no one talks about, and it's just the world we live in now because everyone's busy scrolling, and they're sitting in bed, and they rather scroll on TikTok to watch a show. So I get it.
Truthfully, we had a double doozy Monday night. We have great postseason baseball. It's postseason, go season. I haven't had much time for shows other than something stupid like Love is Blind because I'll put that on, and if I fall asleep, no big deal. But we've been so full of greatness when it comes to sports that I haven't really had a lot of time to watch anything good. So when I do, I'll make
Tommy Edman, Will Smith. These are guys, that's like the middle and back of their lineup. Great stars.
Speaking of Stallone, I got to say,
For the sake
I'm
of
just
baseball.
saying you gotta have, if you're a Brewers fan, even if you're not, you have to have some sort of understanding that they're going to fight back, and Yelich and guys like that step up and do something.
You can have so much faith.
They're not
that
there
you
for
can
no
have,
reason. They weren't the best team all year. We all believe that it feels over. But
it felt over at first with the Phillies as well, and you saw they
road teams are 2-0.
Yeah, but people casually listen sometimes. I mean, a Fox Sports Radio listener knows what's going on, but some people casually listen. The way you're talking, series is done. It's not.
I'm just saying, if it's again, it's very tricky to come back down 2-0, especially again if the series were opposite. Let's say the Brewers just lost 2 in Los Angeles, and all right, now they're going to Milwaukee. I'd be like, all right, now they're going back home. That fan base is gonna be fired up. They just lost 2 in Milwaukee. They have to come out here.
Should have been able to come back in game
Covino,
one. Could have
the Blue
stole
Jays.
game one, but the Dodgers
Jays,
barely pulled that one out. Yesterday, I felt like the Dodgers owned that game because Yamamoto was just unstoppable.
Think of the Blue Jays when they
% of the time it works every time.
say, yeah, it's that was what you were thinking of, right?
Yeah, and that's why this football season has been so interesting too, because it's like all the teams. we jokingly said on our regular show, 2 to 4 on the West every day, Covino and Rich, that is this game broken? Blowing the game. The cartridge is broken because none of the teams that were supposed to be good are playing good, and the ones that were average are playing great. That's what makes this season so interesting.
Well, dare I say
if
something?
we stick with our theory, Rich, it's still going to be the Chiefs there at the end of the day.
Well, dare I say something?
The middle of the day
cliche,
and the beginning of the day.
Dare I say something cliche, but at the end of the day, people love to say at the end of the day, everyone ignores the beginning and middle of the day.
Yeah. Middle of the day might be my favorite part, my little nap, because I'm taking one today.
In the beginning, middle, and end of the day, they're all professionals. Like sometimes you forget.
Yeah, it's who's hot.
Whoever they're throwing on the hill in a pitching matchup, or whoever's defending a wide receiver, whoever's trying to get to the quarterback. These are not chumps. They're all guys that played like for Georgia or Alabama or LSU. They're all conditioned guys that are living their dream. So, like, we forget sometimes, like, it's not like star players versus chumps.
Well, you got to give props where they're due. The Dodgers are playing like the Dodgers, even though we doubted them throughout the year.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be surprised. Yamamoto stepping up big time. First complete game in the postseason since 2017, which, by the way, feels like such a rarity, in today's world and in today's game. And with Dave Roberts quick to pull the trigger on that.
Dodgers hadn't done that since 2004.
I think what I heard was, didn't they someone handcuff Dave Roberts to the dugout so he couldn't go out there? And
You knew because the night before he should have left Snell in that he was finally going to do the right thing.
But you know what?
2017, that's when Verlander was on top of his game against the Yankees for reference. But like Danny G said, over 20 years since that happened for the Dodgers, just a big-time performance, big-time pitching for the Dodgers. But it's a long season and still a long series, even though it feels like it's closing in on the Brewers. We'll see what happens, man.
I mean, you got to imagine at some point the Brewers' bats get a little hot. I mean, as of right now,
if
this were any other generation, you would have seen 2 complete games back to back.
Yeah.
And the only reason Snell was taken out was that Dave Roberts was playing a little precautious, a little safe, and looking back was almost a mistake. Think about it. If who was it? Terang. If Terang gets a single there and the Brewers win, you're going to look back and be like, Dave Roberts is a bonehead. How did they lose game 1? Snell was cruising. That should have been back-to-back complete game dominant performances.
You mean they would have tied the game if you let the ball hit them?
Dude, and that's something that we didn't talk about yesterday, and you got to almost give Terang, I hate to say it, a free pass because your human instinct is to move. No one really got down on him for that, but I feel like back in the day, guys would lean into balls in that case. Like the fact that...
Hey, speak for yourself, man. Carry on, continue.
Okay.
Also, one note on the Brewers, Richie.
To me, those balls are perfect.
Lean into balls, huh?
Thank you, Tom. Even though the Brewers are having to come to Los Angeles, that's home for Yelich. He's from my hood, so he's going to have his family in the stands. We'll see if he can break out of his slump.
So we shall see what happens, but as of right now, it looks like a Mariners-Dodgers World Series, unless the Blue Jays or the Brewers get hot. And you know what? It's not crazy because they were the 2 best teams in baseball this year. They had that was your number 1 seed in the AL and your number 1 seed in the NL.
Here's the silver lining to that.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
If that were to happen, it's safe to say that the entire world, except for everyone in LA, will be rooting for the Mariners.
I've already seen the memes of that map where it's like who the world is rooting for. If it's Dodgers, Mariners.
Because the Mariners have never won. They got a likable team, a lot of big names there, a lot of big dumpers on that team. But if it were the Mariners-Brewers, then you'd have a divided sort of thing, right? So it'd be safe to say that everybody would be rooting for the Mariners if that happened. So, look, we'll get your feedback. We got more to talk about. We got games to play, prizes to give away.
Go.
We'll do some midweek major and more. But the Dodgers, did they just F with us the entire season? Are you surprised? Or is it just always the usual suspects?
Right.
We got more Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Now, Mako's running paint sales right now starting at just $4.99. So if you've been walking up to your car thinking, still haven't fixed that, you're not the only one. Dents, dings, chip paint.
I'd rather talk about Phil Swift, the inventor of Flex Seal, than Taylor Swift. That guy made a canoe out of a screen door.
How about
To
DeAndre
me-
Swift?
To me, that's more impressive.
That is really impressive.
Come on. Have you ever sailed on a screen door?
Could Taylor Swift do
Courtesy
that?
of Flex Seal?
I mean, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Let me read you the lyrics from Taylor's new song.
Oh, you mean the song about knocking on wood?
Superstition.
That's what she said.
I
I'm
know,
just
but-
quoting her.
Yeah, and she's not lying, but it's real. It's innuendo. It's all about his junk.
Listen, I feel like she is a pop music wizard. These songs all hit. The minute you hear them, you know they're all going to be hits. She's the Michael Jackson of this generation.
Oh,
as far
stop
as-
it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sam, that's an argument you don't want to get involved with.
Yo, Sam just moonwalked right now.
I know.
All right.
I'm sorry. My correction, I was Sam. Bigger than Michael Jackson.
Whoa.
All right. So here's the chorus of Taylor Swift's new song, Wood. And I want to point out.
WOOD.
And I want to point out. This might make Travis Kelce like probably the most braggadocious dude. He could walk around today knowing that an album was released today with millions and millions and millions and millions of people listening to it. And here's the words. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He ahmatized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs.
Oh, it goes more. Continue. Yeah, but carry on because
I'm not going to carry on. Well, let me see where your hands are.
it
Get 'em out of
talks
your pants.
about his manhood and everything else.
So she goes on and on to pretty much talk about what a great lover Travis Kelce is. So I made my list, and I want to see if you guys could debate this. When it comes to being complimented as a man, some of them are sincere and nice, and some are not that. Top 3. Compliment that you're a great dad. Compliment that you're a provider
I agree
and
with
like
you.
a man. Like
Yeah.
you protect the family and you provide for the family. That'll always make a man feel happy.
How about you make me feel safe?
Yeah, safe, you're a provider. That's it. That, you're a great dad.
What's the third one?
And
'Cause
the-
you're 2 for 2.
And the third one has to do with, are you curling the toes? Are you a good lover? Your manhood.
She rock my world,
Do
man.
you rock her world in the bedroom? If a woman tells you you're a good dad, you're a provider that makes her feel safe, and you get it done in the bedroom, that is the trifecta of what every man wants to hear.
Is Rich skipping? How about this one?
And I'm telling you, Travis Kelce today is walking around as if the guy doesn't already have a strut in his step, multiple Super Bowls, future Hall of Famer, $100 million podcast. Now, there's a pop song.
You know what's wild about this song? If you're a Brewers fan, you got to have faith, and that's what Iowa Sam is playing right now. George Michael, not of the sports machine, George Michael of Wham. I actually played this original version for my daughter this week, coincidentally, because all she knew was the Limp Bizkit version. That's called good parenting, everybody. Steve Covino, teaching my kid how to rock.
You know what I do when I drop my kids off at school usually? It's a little fun thing. Quick ride to school. It's pretty local.
Yeah.
I pick one classic song a day to introduce them to.
Classic to who? You mean classic rock? You're showing them some Hendrix? Some
No,
Doors?
I'll just pick a random song. Like, all right, a song they should know. Like, all right, Michael Jackson, Beat It, or I don't know, Usher, yeah, or I don't know, just you
Shit,
name it.
knowing you show him tub thumping.
Yeah, all Rich's favorites.
Listen,
the Proclaimers.
you know what? Proclaimers are going to make the list now.
All right, well,
But
we're
just,
Covino and Rich in for Dan
A
Patrick.
random song they should know. I don't know, Mr. Jones,
No.
Counting Crows, Madonna,
Honestly,
Material Girl.
That's my favorite part of being my daughter's personal chauffeur is to be a great influence. But when we fill in for DP, I don't get that chance to do that. But I get the chance to talk to millions all over the world. So shout out to the affiliates. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us who don't know us. We're normally on 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West. Please check out our podcast. Search Covino and Rich. And, of course, we're streaming live on YouTube. You could also follow us there. We have our bonus pod that you could watch there. Covino and Rich, FSR, Covino, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Real quick, Rich.
Yeah.
Rapid Radios, the official walkie-talkie of the Dan Patrick Show.
Rapid Radio.
It's a push-to-talk nationwide LTE coverage service. No subscriptions required.
Rapid Radio.
Business owners, stay connected with your employees anywhere. Visit rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
I'm not saying I'm dad of the year, even though I do have a mug that says that.
Yeah.
And a T-shirt. Yeah. But I think there's two things you got to do. You got to introduce your kid to – don't push old stuff on them and be like, this got to be your favorite stuff, kid. Just – because nothing annoys me more when I meet someone young and they're just dumb and they don't know things. So I feel like it is your job to be like, hey, kid, I don't need you to listen all this time, but you should know that.
Hey, kid, do you really like White Snake, or did your dad push that on you?
But you know what you should know? A classic song. The same way my kids know all sports teams' logos. Not because I'm pushing every sport on them. Nothing bothers me more when you meet a grown-up and they're like, whose team is that? Or you ever see those like when they do the schedule releases? And they'll go down a street in Nashville and they'll be like, all right, name the logo. And some girl's like, the Chicago Seas?
Are you saying, keep your kid well-rounded and teach him the basics?
Yeah, show him, and it doesn't have to be classic. The best rap albums coming out right now are by middle-aged rappers. Show them the new Mobb Deep.
Yeah? That's happening for real?
Yeah. Shook ones, bro. Let's do it.
Rich, if you're a 50-year-old rapper, you're money right now.
You are money. Oof. You know why, though? Because you're competing with nonsense. That's why. So we got 1 foot in dad life and 1 foot up your ass every afternoon.
Is that your catchphrase? Please, can we rework that?
That's my slogan.
Sounds like you're like some...
But we're here early on the West Coast. Look, if you're new to us, we're from the East Coast. Yep. I'm from Union, New Jersey. Rich is from Franklin Square, Long Island. But we live out here in Los Angeles. And I do have a theory. If we were ever so lucky to continue to fill in for the great Dan Patrick, I don't think I'd ever comb my hair again. Because on the West Coast, obviously, it's 3 hours earlier. I just roll out, throw a hat on, and that would be my uniform probably for the rest of my life if I ever were to do this on a regular basis. I'm just throwing that out there into the universe for fun.
There's another positive. Then you don't have to go to Turkey to get your hair plugs.
I would never have to get hair plugs. I could cut back on the Rogaine.
Yeah, see?
The minoxidil, the Propecia, whatever it is. And for the rest of my life, I would have to switch it up, though, just to look different because,
fedoras and top hats?
I'll be rocking I'll be like, it's Sweet Fez Thursday. I'll be rocking a fez, a Viking hat. I'd have to mix it up because there's no way I'd be waking up early enough to shower, comb my hair. I got real ethnic hair.
You get used to it.
No way. I'd be rocking a hat every day, I promise you, for the rest of my life if this were my normal schedule. Because I'm a shower at night kind of guy, and that's a debate in itself. Rich is a shower in the morning kind of guy.
I can't imagine.
So Rich is what they call in the barrio sucio, because he goes into his bed with a dirty ass.
Incorrect.
He's Dirty Sheet Davis.
Incorrect. I do this wild thing called shower twice.
Nah, you don't. You don't, though.
Well, that's just overkill.
I do. I shower every night and every morning.
That's a lot of showering.
That's
my water
That's like men at work, bro. Overkill.
All right, wait, Covino, do you do your hair like in the morning? Like, do you style it?
I don't honestly.
Do you wet a comb?
Everybody except for a caveman do that?
No, but it's.
I shower in the morning and then
I can't quite comprehend how. And I get it. Most of our affiliates on the East Coast, to them, it's like, dude, it's after 9 a.m. Out here on the West Coast, you got to wake up early to fill in for DP.
It's a 5 a.m. wake up.
I can't imagine how you could wake up and not take a shower.
No. So that's what I'm saying. I'll be rocking hats for the rest of my life.
Congested and I thought you need just to clean out your head. Like just
wakes you up too a little bit.
I don't get how you
can't do it. Can't do it. I wake up the whole house. Dog wakes up. Hassles, hoffs.
Are you the man of the house or no?
I'm just the man. Period.
What happens if the dog wakes up?
It's called being respectful, and it's also called you got to get as much sleep as you possibly can, and that's the rules I live by. All right, so. The NFL.
Yes. National Football League. Yes, that's what it is, the NFL.
We got to talk some foosball. We got to talk Baker Mayfield. We got to talk more Dodgers, midweek major. We got to get into it.
Well, I thought about Baker more and more, only because I feel like the world is thinking about Baker Mayfield more and more. Because here's a guy that was tossed around, like you said, like basura, sucio. Baker Mayfield was a guy that took Cleveland.
Like a hot potato.
As far as Cleveland could be taken, I mean, outside of our childhood with Bernie Kosar, and, Ernest Biner. Since those days, Cleveland has done nothing other than like Baker Mayfield with a couple playoff runs, yet they had their eye on this shiny prize known as Deshaun Watson, and they made this tragic mistake of like, yeah, Baker, we're going to try to upgrade you. Kick him to the curb. Poor Baker Mayfield tries to find a home. It doesn't work out in Carolina. He has that one game with the Rams where everyone's like, oh, look at him. That guy's got balls. He got gusto.
He got the game ball.
He got the game face.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, maybe he's not done. And Tampa Bay makes arguably one of the better decisions, and every team had a chance. You know how we talked about in baseball how every baseball team had the chance to get Pete Alonso, and then the Mets finally found a way to get him back last year?
Fine, I guess we'll take him back.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy hit, who wants a guy that hits 280 with 40 home runs, and he's a good dude. Everyone had the chance to get Baker Mayfield, and everyone's like, pass. Nope. No thanks. Baker Mayfield goes to Tampa, rejuvenates his whole career, and now we're looking at a team that is arguably the top team in the National Football League. Ibuka is a star young wide receiver. Once they get healthy, Godwin and, Mike Evans and Bucky Irving, he'll eventually come back. This might be the team. So I got to ask, if Baker somehow, some way, in a league that seems like there's no dominant team, if Baker and the Bucs win the Super Bowl, what does that say when we talk about the narrative of Lamar Jackson and Burrow and Josh Allen and these elite quarterbacks that are, they'll win one day. Will they?
Probably not when you look back in history just as a kid growing up. I mean, we grew up watching legends who never won. And we're going to see a lot more of that in our future because not everybody gets one. That's life. Not everyone gets the chance to win.
Do you
That's
judge
why
people on
it's
winning?
Such an honor.
You judge people mostly on winning?
Especially in the world of sports.
If
that's what you're judged by.
If everything's based on winning and what makes like a guy like your hero,
you'd be
Derek
a hell of
Jeter,
a guy. It doesn't matter. You're getting paid to win.
What makes Derek Jeter? I'll bring up a guy that's your hero.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he has 3,000 hits and, one of the best shortstops of all time. But what makes Derek Jeter is the fact that he's a 5-time World Series champion.
And people love to say he's overrated. It's the dumbest argument ever.
But it's undeniable that Derek Jeter is a winner. Something that, not to sound rude, but that's something Lamar Jackson's not. It's something that Josh Allen's not, and it's something that Joe Burrow's not yet.
But not everybody
if you
gets that chance.
All right, now, I'll tell you what. The Vegas odds, if you parlayed that bad boy, do you really think all three of those guys are going to win a Super Bowl by the time it's over?
No, because there'll be a few repeats in there. It's so hard to get back, as
one of those
everybody
guys,
knows.
One of those guys is going to be the Marino or Dan Fouts or Phillip Rivers or, that guy of the generation. You forget, Stafford won one. He snuck one in. Jalen Hurts. There's guys that have won a Super Bowl. And if a guy like Baker Mayfield does, where does that put him in that conversation?
There's, as a winner and as a potential MVP, and that's why people are chanting his name, and that's why all of the narrative has changed. All of a sudden, if you watch any of these shows or listening to any of these shows, everyone's picking now the Bucs to be number one here. So he was also a number one pick. So should we be shocked by that? And if he does win one, who are the quarterbacks that won't win one? There's so many questions to unravel here when it comes to Baker Mayfield and where the Buccaneers are at.
I want to go over that fun quarterback hypothetical and more thoughts on Baker and those quarterbacks I just talked about. So hang tight. More Covino Rich. Having a lot of fun filling in for Dan Patrick right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I haven't seen this much excitement for the Giants since the 90s, maybe? Honestly, and I know it's just one night, but I feel like you got to do it a few more times before I start believing it. It was on a big stage, Thursday Night Football against your Super Bowl champions, against the Eagles, big rivalry, right? So think about it. I'm an East Coast kid. We pointed it out this week. I don't have a team other than the Yankees because when I was a kid, you made a stupid choice. Like, I like the Cowboys, right? But I didn't get the chance to watch the Cowboys every week. I like the 49ers. Didn't get the chance to watch the 49ers. So I grew up around a lot of Giants fans. I went to Giants games, but I never really liked them. I didn't really get into them. I wasn't a Mark Bavaro kind of guy. But I remember...
You were a Mark Bavaro mullet type of guy.
I wasn't a Phil McConkey kind of dude, a Shockey kind of guy as years went on. But then they started to win in the Eli Manning days.
Well,
they had some exciting moments.
I think what you're getting at is interesting because while Eli did win 2 Super Bowls, they were unexpected, and Eli's a great dude, but he's not this.
They didn't bring the excitement.
He doesn't bring the.
They won.
Kids, do the kids still say Riz?
Last night, I feel like I witnessed something that could pull in so many young fans, including this guy, because I was like, wow, this is electric. I haven't seen the Giants shining this bright in years, even when they were winning.
I think the bigger picture is while Eli Manning is likely a future Hall of Famer, he's the guy.
I think no doubt, to be honest, because he did it.
But there was nothing, because those years they didn't win, it's not like the Giants were 12-4 every year and, they won twice. They were like average, and those 2 years were the anomalies. They were years where the Giants were mediocre with Eli, so it wasn't like Drew Brees for the Saints where every year they were good, but they only got it done once. This was a team that was meh.
They reached up. They
outperformed.
Yes.
And
all right,
speaking
these
of
Giants are still only 2-4, and
that's the good part.
2-game winning streak.
I was completely glued to what was going on yesterday, but please let it be clear as to what I'm saying. What happened last night appeared to be real. It was electric. It was exciting. You had Scatterboo ripping his shirt off like he was Hulkamania last night on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. But I am saying in the same breath, Rich, although it was real and it was exciting, and man, they seem to be like a must-watch team now, it's still only one game, and I need more to believe it.
I think we're
prisoner of the moment right now.
I think what you're going to see is a young, talented, raw duo. And I think the funniest part that came out of last night is while we know Cam Scatterboo and while we know Jackson Dart, I think last night, primetime Thursday Night Football, put this duo on display. Like, we didn't know they were like bros that head-butted, and we didn't know that, Cam Scatterboo chews sunflower seeds louder than anyone, and they're silly together.
You're getting all the backstories.
It was almost like this weird coming out party where it's like, whoa, hold on. Like almost like an album release. Like, here's Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart, your new dynamic duo.
Right. I think the world got introduced to them last night, and they're hard to not like. You see all the Giants fans. It's not just us. I think everybody's prisoner of the moment because I believe it was Dart that said it. These New York Football Giant fans are starving for a winning team, starving for a new quarterback, starving for someone to cheer for. And you see them, Scatterboo, Scatterboo, scat. They're looking for a hero, and right now he's the guy.
Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, Covino and Rich, and for the great Dan Patrick. Now, after the show, the podcast going to be on our stream up and running. Just search Covino Rich. It'll be on the DP stream. And be sure to follow, review. And, hey, while you're at it, if you want to see what we're doing, we got the YouTube page going, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. Really appreciate the support. Love you guys.
And know what's cool about this? You're witnessing a first listen. Rich never heard Mobb Deep in his life. So there you go.
Rich, you're from the East Coast. Come on.
Rich wakes up to clowns never laughed before. Beanstalks never grew. So it's Covino and Rich. Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G referenced some Mobb Deep before, so we're playing some of that if you're listening to the podcast later on. Danny G's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. He's our producer. Spots on the videos. Getting ready for Midweek Major. We go over all the stories in the world of sports and pop culture. Are they mid-week or major stories? We do that every Wednesday. But talking Baker, first question, should we be shocked? He was the number 1 overall pick, but now he's playing like it.
I want to take you back. Take you back. The year was 2018, which is what? Only 7 years ago. It was the year of the Me Too movement. A lot of women, Me Too. It was the year Black Panther was a big movie. The Royal Wedding. It was pre-COVID. I got something that you'll remember.
I think I was supporting the Yo Tambien movement back in the day.
Yo Tambien?
Yeah.
No, you were way into, remember Yodel Boy?
I remember Yodel Boy, yeah.
That was Covino's favorite.
Yodel Boy?
Remember the little... He was at like a supermarket, Yodel Boy? So, Yodel Boy was all the rage. And Baker Mayfield was your number 1 pick. And I want to just go over that draft for a second because it's really interesting looking back, because we love to grade drafts, right? Like, what a bust. Because that was the draft that all these quarterbacks were taken in. So your number 1 pick in that draft was Baker Mayfield. Let's go down to number 2, Saquon Barkley. There's a guy that changed his stars, right?
Yeah. New life.
Number 3, Sam Darnold. Another guy that got new life.
Well, again, these are people that were sort of written off, but they didn't write back.
Also in the top 10, number 7, Josh Allen. And you remember some fans were like, Josh Allen, wrong Josh, because number 10 was Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Remember he was like, I'm going to show everyone.
Yeah.
Showed no one.
I know.
And if you go all the way down to number 32 at the end of the first round, that was Lamar Jackson. So all these quarterbacks we talk about on a daily, Lamar, Josh Allen, Baker, Sam Darnold, we could throw in. These are guys that are, drafted in 2018. This is year 8 then, right, for them? 7, 8 years now. Who's going to win one? They're not all going to win one. I'm not even talking about this year. I'm talking about in their career. There's going to be this generation's, like I said, Phillip Rivers or Dan Marino or Dan Fouts, the guy that just never got there.
Well, I will start this by saying I will be shocked if Baker Mayfield wins one. He's setting up to win one. He's playing like he wants to win one. He was the number 1 pick, like you said, but I still would be shocked just based on his journey of ups and downs. Like the meme goes, and I love it, he's proving to be the Tom Brady of Johnny Manziel's. Baker Mayfield is the Tom Brady of Johnny Manziel. So I'd be shocked if he did.
Now,
but I think he could. But that also takes away another year where someone else could have won. So who ends up winning, who doesn't?
Well, do you
out of all these great quarterbacks in the league.
When you were a younger man, when we were growing up, we always talk about how Michael Jordan really C-blocked so many people from winning an
Patrick
NBA
Ewing
title.
is the first that comes to mind. Yeah.
Ewing, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, Clyde the Glide. A lot of these guys never got their flowers, never got their due, never won one because Michael Jordan decided to be greedy and three-peat twice, right? Is Mahomes doing that same thing to those other AFC quarterbacks? The simple fact that he's been to 5, won 3 of them. Can you look back maybe a decade from now and be like, well, yeah, Josh Allen or Lamar, the reason they never won one was because it's that damn Patrick Mahomes. Is Mahomes doing – is he
such
Jordaning?
Is life. There's always one guy that's in your way of something. For me, it's Mario Lopez. Can we give someone else a shot or what?
There's no room for another young Latino guy?
Yeah. Guy's hosting everything. For you, it's probably Ryan Seacrest.
Dan Byer.
Can he let someone else have a chance?
Dan Byer, who's with us every afternoon, one of the great guys here at Fox Sports Radio.
Who?
He's a big golf guy, and I believe he made the analogy that there are so many golfers that Tiger Woods unfortunately got in the way of. Now, when you are the runner-up and you're in the top 10 in golfing, you still make big money on these tours, but there are guys that missed out on major championships because there was a time where Tiger was winning everything. And when you look back, who do you think it's going to be? That's the question here on Fox Sports Radio. Who's the person that just doesn't win one? Who's this generation's Marino or Phillip Rivers that is clearly a Hall of Fame type of guy? You know, you're Matt Ryan. You're a guy that couldn't get it done.
If we're just following how things are heading now, Lamar Jackson has to come to mind because he's a guy that's always coming so close and plays so big, and now it looks like the whole team is playing like ass. They might be ass. So it might be him because, again, based on the theory is not everybody could win.
Not everyone's prom queen, bro.
If we know that there are Dan Marinos out there and Jim Kelly's out there, not everybody wins one.
And you know what? Joe Burrow, you saw those analogies. Like, is he sort of like Andrew Luck, right?
Yeah, he might not have the luck. He might not have the health to get there.
So your thoughts, we'll take your feedback next here on the Dan Patrick Show. Covino Rich filling in. Who is the odd man out? If you look into your futuristic crystal ball, which of these great quarterbacks never wins? We'll get to that and a bunch more. Fox Sports Radio got you on your hump day Wednesday. Let's go.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
13th homer of his postseason career, breaking the Dodgers record he shared with Corey Seager and Justin Turner. Talks about the milestone.
It's kind of huge for me, but the biggest thing that I always say is it speaks to the fact that I've had a chance to play in so many postseason games. And, that's the biggest thing about being a Dodger is, you're going to have a chance in October to play meaningful baseball games. And
the ALCS continues tonight, Game 3 between the Mariners and Blue Jays in Seattle, with the Mariners leading the best-of-7 series 2-0. George Kirby on the bump for Seattle. Toronto counters with Shane Bieber. Thursday night football should be interesting. Steelers take on the Bengals in Pittsburgh with a couple of 40-year-old quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, with Rodgers' teammate Cameron Hayward calling the game the Icy Hot Bowl. That's sports. I'm Ron Tomas.
DP.
Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the four Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Oh, how we feeling Wednesday on Fox Sports Radio, CNR?
I feel fantastic, grateful, honored to be here. Wonderful to see you.
What's up, bud?
Steve Covino, Rich Davis, super producer Danny G, the guy with the smooth, buttery voice. He's a big-time Dodgers, Raiders guy. He's our guy, Danny G. And Iowa Sam is on the glockenspiel right now. It's always kind of Dan Patrick and the Danettes to leave that for us. He's the rock superstar on the xylophone, Iowa Sam. And Spot is our video guy, along with Elijah and the greatest team in all the land. Streaming live, Covino and Rich FSR, Covino, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. We even have a live chat, and Spot gives us midweek major later in the show. The biggest headlines in sports and pop culture are they midweek and major. But this hour, we're giving away prizes on a game we play every Wednesday on our normal show, 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West, Covino and Rich. We call it Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. Mike, who runs this place, walks around with all this wisdom. Mike.
Every office has a guy like Mike who
he just has so much wisdom. And if you could repeat his words verbatim, you win a Turbo Ball, our new and improved Nerf footballs.
We were talking earlier about what quarterbacks are going to be the odd man out. Who's not going to win? Who's the Matt Ryan, the Phillip Rivers, the Jim Kelly, or Dan Marino?
Well, especially with all this talk of Baker Mayfield being the guy this year, and he is.
Every year, it's who's going to win? Is this Lamar's year, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow? And it's either Mahomes, or in the years it's not Mahomes, it's like, oh, wait, Jalen Hurts, or, oh, look, Matthew Stafford. And it's never what you think.
And we see windows close all the time.
And absolutely.
Right? You only have a small pocket sometimes to make it happen.
And we forget that just because you're a good quarterback doesn't mean that you're going to have a team that wins 12-plus games every year that's in the mix. So there's guys like Joe Burrow could get healthy, and the Bengals could just stink in a couple of years. Lamar, Derrick Henry's only going to be in his prime so long. Some of those key components on that team will only be young for so long. And then you got to ask yourself, well, there's other guys too, right? I mean, like Brock Purdy just got paid a lot of money. Was that like a quick window that's opened and closed in San Francisco?
Who's the odd guy out? Maybe there's more than one.
Is Jordan
Especially
Love?
if someone goes on a run.
Is Jordan Love in Green Bay? Is that a guy that you're like, well, he's going to win one? And then you say, well, Jared Goff. I mean, there's a guy that will eventually get one. He deserves it. We just named like 8 players. Guess what? Most of them are not winning a Super Bowl.
And we're talking top tier, upper echelon quarterbacks.
And to add to all this, none of those guys I just named are going to win a Super Bowl. You know why?
So many guys.
So many guys. None of them are going to win because I just read, and
you
this
didn't
is
even mention Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Him and Harbaugh, they finally started to get it together. And
How
then
about your boy Purdy? You didn't bring him up
I did.
either.
I just said it. What are you talking about? You got poop in your ears?
Not at all.
Wow.
Bo Nix.
I know.
And Sean Payton, that combo in Denver, they got high hopes, right?
Don't forget Geno Smith.
Stop it. Now let's not get silly. But all this is irrelevant because I just got a message from our producer, Danny G, from Twitter. Bears quarterback Caleb Williams says that he wants to win 8 Super Bowls with the Bears to break Tom Brady's record. So look at that. All those other quarterbacks, you're in trouble because Caleb's going to win 8.
I mean, it's great to have goals. 8 of them?
But Jackson Dart, you don't think Jackson Dart's going to want to win one? Every young quarterback who's the franchise guy.
That's a bold statement.
You just listed like half the starters in the NFL. Some of them will win a Super Bowl.
No, I don't think so. I think
Patrick Mahomes is not going to win 12 more, okay?
Oh, yeah? Do you say that about Tom Brady?
Caleb Williams is going to be
even that was spread over 20 years.
I know.
Yeah,
but
Caleb Williams knocks out a decade.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. There's
And
nothing left.
With all the flack and all the heat that LeBron got for saying not 5,
Flack?
not 6.
Oh, he won one. Oh, Flack.
No, that's Flack. That's Flack.
2, not 3, not 4.
I would be so hesitant to say anything like that, but I mean, you got to believe it, right? So good for him.
All right, let's God willing, I was saying, we're all working together in 10 years from now, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Some people are like, yeah. Others like, no. 10 years from now, the year is 2035. Who's won one? Because all these guys are going to be on the way out. All these guys, if not already retired, because think about it, a lot of these guys are from the draft class of 2018, 2017.
I still believe that Josh Allen wins one.
All right, so you think Josh Allen is the guy, he wins one.
And he does it for all of Buffalo and all the fans that haven't won. And
so let's play
all the Jim Kellys of the world.
Let's play the game of 1-1. If you had to do a little doozy of a 2-tier parlay,
that
futures
guy's too
bet.
talented to not continue to build around him and give him what he needs to win. So
Well,
I think it's him.
So
if I had to pick like one guy right now.
One guy to win, and then on the flip of it, Covino,
one guy to lose.
You got to pick
never win.
one of these guys that
All right,
unfortunately
I'll
won't.
go easy then. And it's not because I don't think he's awesome. I think he's the man, but health isn't on his side. Until he proves me otherwise, I'll say Joe Burrow.
All right, so you think Allen will win one eventually, Burrow won't?
Yeah, as far as like great quarterbacks that have the potential to win, yeah.
I think Dan Campbell gets the Lions to the Super Bowl eventually. That would mean Jared Goff gets one.
Even if it's like veteran status in a couple years, or at some point, Goff and the Lions, who won't win one, Danny?
Sorry, Dallas, cover your ears. I'm thinking it's going to be hard for Dak to hold up the trophy. And I like Dak.
By the way, Dak is such a likable guy on a team that gets a lot of crap. And you're right, Dak is one of those guys that you don't think he wants to win one. I was Sam. You just said it best. I named half the league because half the league has, quote, their guy that they think could do it. But most of them won't. Who's your pick? Who will win one, who won't? Because you just said, well, a lot of these guys will. I don't think a lot of these guys will. I think a couple will.
I really don't know. I don't know.
It's called the prediction, Sam. None of us know. I'm not Madame Ruby from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The Alamo.
Rich has Biff's Sports Almanac.
Yeah, I didn't think that the Eagles would win 2 Super Bowls in the last 8 years.
Let me break out. Yeah,
Sam.
I'm going to throw another guy in the mix that everyone thought, well, he'll clearly win one in his career because he was generationally touted, and they're doing pretty good this year. They had a big letdown loss against Dan Byers' Seahawks this week. What about Trevor Lawrence? Have we closed the book on Trevor Lawrence, or are we thinking,
fill in the blank one, but Josh Allen never won.
Listen,
right? Because there's always that surprise story, too, of a quarterback who just had a great defense or, somehow won a Super Bowl.
Listen,
so you're not even counting that guy.
I don't want to compare it to the Grammys or Oscars because that's subjective versus, like, earning it in a sport. But there are times where you're like, well, that actor's never won an Oscar, huh? Or they never won a Grammy. You find those, those random things like, wow, I don't know, Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young.
We may look back and say, wow, Kyler Murray won a Super Bowl, but Lamar Jackson never did. But I'm just saying it might happen.
Well,
in every generation, it has happened.
That's why last year's sort of wild because I'm not saying he's trash by any means, but Jalen Hurts jumped the pack. Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. Meanwhile, all these other guys have not. Yeah. So he has that over all of them.
That's why Bo Nix might be a good answer in this because that Broncos defense could take the team for.
And we joke about certain guys, but like Joe Flacco, who still finds jobs, he's a Super Bowl champion.
Yep. And you can't take it away from him.
It was in New Orleans.
No matter what.
I was there. The lights were knocked out. Beyonce performed at halftime.
A lot of people don't know that Rich is the guy that tripped over the cord.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why the power went out in that Super Bowl.
But, I mean, Joe Flacco was there. Hoisted the Lombardi. John beat Jim Harbaugh. You can't take that away from Flacco. Nick Foles beat Tom Brady. There's always going to be those stories. But my point is, we could wrap it with, there's no way on earth all these guys could win.
You got to say God's green earth just to really bring the point home.
There's no way on God's green earth
there you go.
that all these guys win. And we're so convinced that...
You can say green turf to just bring it into football if you want.
Too much turf toe going around. Sorry. Won't do it. Won't do it. But, yeah, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson leading the pack of the Daks and Trevor Lawrences and... You know,
and where there's
Jordan Loves and guys that everyone assumes, oh, they're great. They'll win one. Will they?
This comes about because everybody is on the Baker Mayfield bandwagon now, and he deserves it.
That'd be
He's
a great
playing
story.
big, and everybody has him winning the Super Bowl as of right now. And we've said for years, by week 6, week 7, you know where the teams are headed. You got a good vibe of what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's got everybody saying that it's the Buccaneers' year, and he's playing like your MVP. So props to him.
Covino, that goes along perfectly to wrap up that conversation because while we just mentioned all those guys, Baker not comes out of nowhere, but if the Bucs, because they're a well-balanced, well-coached team and have some great young stars to go with the veterans, if the Bucs win and Baker wins, you'd be like, oh, Baker. He just took up essentially one slot 1 year for all those guys that we think are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
No one saw Baker coming.
No.
When Baker was hanging in Carolina with Sam Darnold in that classic picture of like, look at these two guys, how sad. And now they're both making big money on other teams.
Yeah, congrats to him, man. He's having a year. Keep it up.
No diggity, no doubt.
So I heard something on the way in today, and it has to do with duos, okay?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hear what I heard?
On your way in, what were you listening to?
There
Some
you go.
crappy rock channel on Sirius XM?
No, because I actually picked up Spot, so I didn't want to offend him with System of a Down too early in the morning.
Oh.
I didn't want to offend him with some Mudvayne.
Oh, he was talking to you about Batman reruns then.
No. So I'm in the car and Spot. I had to pick up Spot because his starter broke with all the rain here in L.A. Picked up Spot, put 80s on 8 on.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, like we've worked at Sirius XM for the last almost 20 years on and off doing different things.
And I heard our guy Mark Goodman, who's Mark Great Man. He's a great man.
Do you mean the first ever MTV VJ?
Oh,
yeah.
With his
Mark
afro?
Goodman.
One of the great fros on TV.
Oh, he's like, he could have been in the Jackson 5, that
and
guy.
genuinely, Danny G, one of the nicest guys.
He's super cool to work with. Super handsome guy. Mark Goodman's on 80s on 8, and he plays, "You're out of touch, I'm out of touch." And he comes out of the song, he's like, "That's Hall & Oates on 80s on 8. He's got this crazy swag about him. I'm Mark Goodman, and they are the greatest duo of all time. Hall & Oates here, and coming up, Boy George, or whatever he starts yapping about. And I'm like, I look at Spot, I'm like, the greatest duo of all time. Oh, you know what he said? I'm sorry, I wrote it down. Most successful duo of all time.
Huh.
So there was like just this matter-of-factness about it. The most successful duo of all time. And I'm like, really? I had to look it up.
Really?
I'm like, really, Mark
what?
Goodman? Not that I question you. I know you were hanging out with Prince and Michael Jackson back in the 80s.
Mark Goodman's stories
You know
are
a thing
always
or
like,
two.
Mark Goodman's stories are always like, so I was hanging with Madonna.
I'll never forget the time it was me, Daryl Hall, John Oates.
You know.
It was
Madonna was trying to get with me, so was Cyndi Lauper. Yeah.
it was that guy from Police Academy.
Steve Guttenberg.
Oh, yeah, he was there. He just starts rattling off all these 80s
the dude
names.
that makes the sound effects.
Yeah, the guy that makes the sound effects. He was there, too.
Wilson, what's up?
Terrence Trent D'Arby was there. Madonna. Cyndi Lauper was sitting on my lap. He has all these great stories of the 80s. That's Hall & Oates, the most successful duo of all time. 80s on 8, Mark Goodman. I'm like, most successful duo of all time? I love me some Hall & Oates. And there's a lot of brothers out there who are always shocked to find out that they were white guys.
Oh, my mom still thinks they're black.
Right, yeah. They got this whole stigma about them where people were shocked to find out that they were white. They still are. And now they're broken up after all these years. I don't know if you know that. And John Oates is doing his own thing. So that's the backstory there. I looked it up, though, just for the hell of it, because not that I question Mark Goodman. Like I said, he knows.
Yeah,
he was there.
Nina Blackwood chimed in, too, right? She's like, yeah, they are the best duo.
That's right, Mark. They were the most successful duo of all time.
And then Alan Hunter chimed in, and he was like, well, righty-ho, hiddly-ho.
Well, that's right. Dippity-doo. They were. So I went to my pal ChatGPT, and I just searched through AI the most successful duo of all time, recording artists. And not that I'm trying to say Mark Goodman was wrong, but they say Simon and Garfunkel based on album sales, cultural impact, and critical acclaim.
Interesting.
So, hey, Hall & Oates, not debating it. I think they're fantastic. I think we underrate them. I really do. They have so many songs. But based on that thought, in life, but mostly in sports, with that matter-of-factness that Mark Goodman threw out there they are, the most successful duo of all time. Who is that in sports? With like no debate.
I would think with little hesitation, some might say Jordan and Pippen.
It's like we declare it as fact today. Is that the fact?
I mean, to me,
I think Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
If I looked it up on ChatGPT, how about I let you know what it says next?
I don't care what robots say. No, in sports, if you want to, you could play Homer games, or you could play you could be subjective. Like, I'm a Niners fan, so my thought, Danny G, is Joe Montana to Jerry Rice. That's your 1-2 punch. That's your best duo ever. But I can imagine if you live in Los Angeles, you might say, yo, you said Magic and who? Kareem?
Yeah.
Someone else might say Shaq and Kobe.
Put it this way. ChatGPT says one that we already said. But as far as number 2, we haven't even said it yet.
Oh, I think I know.
We haven't even said it. And maybe
something our great grandpappy would say?
No, it's actually a more current one.
Oh, wow. I was thinking of an older one.
It should probably be in our forefront of thoughts right here, but it's not. And I'll let you know what that is.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so start thinking about it. It could be on TV and movies and life, but in sports, who's that matter-of-fact Mark Goodman answer of the most successful duo of all time? Is it Covino and Rich? Well, we're here for Dan Patrick.
Sports, music.
Yeah, sure it is.
TV. Think about it, and let's get the phones going. Let's be interactive. 877-99 on Fox. In for Dan Patrick. Is there an obvious 1-2 punch, a duo?
There's an obvious number one.
The same way our buddy Mark Goodman, so matter-of-factly, was like Hall & Oates, best duo in music.
I believed him, too. I believed him.
So we're
going to declare one.
Maybe you have a different one in music. Hey, we'll take all your answers next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Cybersecurity Awareness Month still going strong, and LifeLock is here with a message about phishing, the scam cyber criminals use to trick victims into allowing access to their devices so they could steal their personal info. Be aware of potential phishing scams is the one way to help protect yourself. We get those scams all the time, Rich.
Scams are
who wants to go out to lunch with me now?
It's so prevalent now. So be careful. For comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives. Lots of places can accidentally expose your personal info. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for risks to your identity. LifeLock detects and alerts you to potential identity threats you may not spot on your own.
Like loans taken out in your name, like crimes committed by thieves pretending to be you. If you do become a victim of identity theft, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back.
Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Use promo code Patrick for 30 days free. That's lifelock.com. Promo code Patrick for 30 days free. Terms apply.
There's modern forms of cheating according to AI. And I didn't show you this because I wanted to know from you, Rich Davis, the righteous dude that you are, if you think these things are cheating, because young people today consider this stuff cheating.
Yeah, every generation considers different things crossing the line. I feel like I remember our parents would say things like, well, you're not married. So like, I remember your mom would tell you like, date whoever you want, Steven. You're not married.
Leave my mom out of this. She's a good woman.
Mom did say that.
But the thing is, it's a sliding scale, right? Like, yeah, you had to encounter some sort of physical touch or something to be considered cheating
then
back
the internet
in the day.
came around.
And
and
emotional cheating and sliding into DMs. So this is what young people consider cheating today. What are your thoughts? Is it cheating? Flirting over text, DM, or social media?
I mean, I don't think it's breakup worthy. It's like, what are you doing worthy? I think it is cheating.
inappropriate,
Yeah, I think it's
right?
Cheating? No. Inappropriate? Yes. Let's make a distinction. Inappropriate, of course.
Yeah.
Cheating? No. I don't.
Yeah, to you, but a young person, cheating.
Flirting?
So keep this in mind. Young people consider this cheating. All right. Following or liking thirst traps, photos meant to attract sexually.
I don't think that's cheating. I think it's sad on a guy. Like if you're liking like some hot girl's photos constantly on Instagram and fire emoji, like you're a weenie. But I don't think it's cheating. It's not cheating. It just makes you sort of like thirsty and lame.
Isn't the equivalent of like beeping at a hot chick and just driving by?
Yeah.
Really not getting anything out of it. Sliding into DMs, especially with flirtatious intent.
Again, mild cheating, but to me, physical touch is cheating. That's just like dumb behavior. That's, inappropriate.
Using dating apps while in a relationship.
Yes, that is
even
cheating.
Browsing. I agree. This is the worst one so far.
I think so far this is the worst one because if you are on Hinge or Tinder or Bumble or any of the Field, if you're on any of the apps our video guy Spot talks about, then you're up to no good. There's no reason. Like
there's no reason for that.
Liking someone's Instagram post could be innocent.
I agree.
When you're on a dating site, what's the intention?
Sexting or sending explicit photos to others. Junk shots and sexy shots.
All right, now we're getting this.
Absolutely. Having backup or emotional side pieces, someone you're keeping warm just in case. Like having a backup.
If you don't vocalize it and you just know it in the back of your head, is that cheating? Like she's on standby, but you're not doing anything?
Well, put it this way. All of this is considered cheating in today's world, but there's something else called a gray area, all right?
Oh, great.
And we're not talking about your Paulie Walnuts hairdo you got going on.
Getting older. We're all getting older.
No, we're not talking about that. So the gray area, watching porn. Some couples are fine with it, some aren't. Cheating or not.
If you think watching porn is cheating, you are a bird brain.
But again, to a young person, it depends on what boundaries are set, okay? So Rich, consider Rich the most cheating guy I know.
Ridiculous. Okay, go on.
You know what team Rich plays for? Team Skeet. That's what he plays for. That's his favorite team.
It's funny.
Yeah. He's 49ers, Mets, and Skeet. Clubbing. Flirting for fun. What do you think? Gray area.
A gray area, because I think if you just fucking talk to someone at a bar, is that cheating? No, but if it's like, hey, by the way, what's your number just in case? Yes, cheating.
Maintaining close friendships with exes.
Dangerous territory. I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't
what's
think
the point?
But I don't think it's cheating if you're open about like, hey, I dated a girl 20 years ago in college and I like her family photos on Facebook.
That's fine if there's no intent there, wish them well and all that.
The younger man's thing, I think.
Keeping secrets. Ooh, women always say omitting is lying. What about keeping secrets? Being intentionally vague about interactions with others. Gray area here. Is that cheating or not?
Just living life.
Micro cheating, small acts of secrecy, flirtation, or emotional intimacy that hint at more. These are gray areas, but what young people consider cheating. So be careful, guys.
Hey, good morning. It's Mark Goodman, 80s on 8. That's Hall & Oates, the most successful duo of all time. Coming up, we have Men at Work.
It's funny.
And
Wham. 80s on 8.
Love me some Mark Goodman. By the way, Covino Rich in for Dan Patrick on Fox Sports Radio. Doing it live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And you did hear your pal and my pal, Mark Goodman, so matter-of-factly say, Hall & Oates, most successful duo. And
that's what got me, though, Rich. His so matter-of-fact attitude about it, where I'm like, of all time?
Oh, wow, okay.
I mean,
you're Mark Goodman. You would know.
Yeah, I mean, they're great. There's no debate there. I'm not debating the greatness of Hall & Oates. But is that fact? ChatGPT says Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, Mike, who runs this place, who's going to give us our words of wisdom in a little bit, said he was listening to the show on his drive-in and said he was getting so mad saying, Simon and Garfunkel, Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, who's that to you? And you could also tie it into sports because there seems to be one obvious answer, but there's one that no one's brought up yet, and ChatGPT says it's arguably a close, very close number 2.
Well,
but before we get to your phone calls at 877-99 on Fox, again, Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick, got to tell you about Tire Rack. Tire Rack. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
I just asked ChatGPT what the best rack is, and tire didn't come up. It's weird. It's very weird. All right, let's go to your feedback. Listen, in the world of sports,
I want to know who came up.
In the world of sports, Sally Scuds from your 80s magazine.
Oh, nice.
You would say Jordan Pippen, right? Just because of the success, and they're almost like the Batman Robin of the sports world. And there you go, best duos, Batman Robin.
I'm surprised you say that, though, as a 49ers fan.
But my personal answer as a little kid, nothing gave me more joy than Joe Montana to Jerry Rice touchdown.
I honestly, not a 49ers fan, but not a 49ers hater, just a kid of the 80s. That comes right to mind for me. But I'll give away the ChatGPT answer and then get to the phone calls.
Okay.
Any guesses on what they're saying, like the number 2 is?
Well, I think Kobe Shaq is – my answers are Montana Rice, Kobe Shaq, Jordan Pippen.
I'm going to think outside the box because Covino said it's newer. I'm thinking Tom Brady Gronk.
Bam!
Yeah?
Wow.
You got it.
Okay.
Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski.
Toadies, man. Toadies.
4 Super Bowl wins and, dominant together. And then they have Serena and Venus. I don't think anyone's going to say that as far as their doubles dominance.
Duos? All
yeah.
Right. Let's go to your phone calls. We'll start in Fresno. Say what's up to Eli. Eli, Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick. What's up, buddy?
Yo, Eli. His connection was struggling a little bit.
No.
Eli to Tyree.
Not legendary enough. Scott
legendary
in Virginia.
Moment,
what's
though.
up, Scotty?
Hey, I've got 2. One's an honorable mention that probably no one will say, but a lot of people don't know that Gary Sanders and Thurman Thomas played in the same backfield in college.
It's a good one, but I don't think you're right. I don't think people would note that because
Look,
you're sharing the load essentially.
Here's what I'm going to say though before we wrap up the phone calls. If I was doing a Mark Goodman 80s on 8 sort of intro or outro here on Fox Sports Radio, I'd be like, Jordan and Pippen, your most successful duo of all time. I really think that's it. If we were to matter-of-factly just declare it, it would be that. But there are some debatable ones.
All right, Dan in Oregon. What's up, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mahomes and Kelsey, and then I got a throwback one, Derek Thomas and Neil Smith.
That's a good one. By the way, the Mahomes-Kelsey one, let's not let that be under the radar. Like I'm surprised that wasn't even just thrown around the last 5 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They won multiple Super Bowls together.
I could say Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith then. Because we're talking about 3 Super Bowls, but if guys have won more than that, then they take, I think, that.
But I think Kelsey.
Maybe because their story's not even written yet.
The Cowboys were the triplets, though.
But Mahomes and Kelsey. Yeah, I agree with that, Danny. I think Michael, you're leaving out Michael Irvin. That's it was almost like the 3 of those dudes. But Mahomes and Kelsey even pop culturally now with Taylor Swift and, just everything.
I think that knocks them down the list, though.
I feel like that elevates them to, like, wow, their wives hang out and Taylor Swift's involved.
I think it takes a little time, to to look back and put them in the conversation, but they're obviously there. There's no question.
Now, successful duos, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, they don't have the accolades and multiple rings like other people.
Well, you say rings. It doesn't even have a ring to it, though, right?
Yeah,
like
you're
it
right.
has to have that ring to it, like Batman and Robin, Laurel and Hardy. It has to have a ring to it, and it doesn't.
Oh, Ace and Gary?
Ace and Gary.
All right, Mark in Tampa. What's up, Mark?
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, one that don't get talked about enough, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, greatest safety ever, greatest linebacker ever. Both won Defensive Player of the Year also.
That's what made that defense so dominant. That's why that Ravens team was feared. But duos, I don't look at them together. But again, same team, same dominance. Let's go to Vegas. Our buddy Tripp. What's up, Tripp?
Hey, Tripp.
Hey, good morning. Y'all are the greatest CNR, but I thought of the second greatest CNR. I'm going to go with Cal Naughton Jr. and Ricky Bobby.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake. That's a good one. Oh, wait, who are the two figure skaters in the Will Ferrell movie? What was that spot? Do you remember? What was it?
Why? I think it's cute that you're pretending not to know these figure skaters.
It was Chaz Michaels.
Yeah, Chaz Michaels.
And
who's the other one? Greatest duos, Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding and Jeff Galooly.
Yeah, there you go. So who's that matter-of-fact answer? We'll wrap it up with a few more phone calls. Then Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom.
Oh, look who it is. Drew Mack in Nashville. Hey, Drew Mack.
Hey, Drew Mack.
Hey, good morning, boys.
What's up, man?
Hey, here's a duo you almost never say one without the other, and that's Stockton to Malone.
Yeah, Stockton and Malone.
That's
it's
really
gotta
good
have. Yeah, it's gotta have that 1-2 punch sort of chemistry, and that's definitely in the conversation.
No doubt.
for sure.
And to tie it to a previous conversation today, we talked about how Mahomes C-blocked a bunch of other people from winning so far. That's a duo, Malone and Stockton, Stockton to Malone, that if Michael Jordan didn't exist, they may have had a couple. Let's go to Irving. This is Magic Johnson?
He's listening.
What's up, Irving?
Yo.
Texas.
I don't know if this is part of the spectrum, but I would say Mike Tyson and Customado, man.
You know, I was trying to think about that because boxing is, a solo sport, but
I would,
and then I said 1-2 punch, and I was like, who's that 1-2 punch?
But when you were thinking boxing, were you thinking like Irving, where it was like boxer and trainer, or were you thinking like, to me, because then I'm thinking maybe if guys fought each other a couple times, like Ali, Frazier, Tyson, Holyfield. Like if you fought a guy in a couple legendary fights, is that a duo where their legendary matchup sort of links them? Does a moment link people like Bill Buckner, Mookie Wilson? Like, are you linked to someone sometimes because of a moment?
In a different way,
right?
In a different way, but I wouldn't put them. As,
I get you.
I like the train because they're opponents, right, or rivals. But yeah, the trainer one, Mike Tyson. When you think of the greats, there was always someone there to help him get there.
Customado and
right.
Tyson. Who do you associate Freddie Roach with the most?
Pacquiao.
Yeah, I think that's how. Yeah.
They lifted each other.
San Diego, Wales. Hey, Terry, what's up?
Hey, guys. Going to go get rid of some of this recency bias and go way back to the 40s with Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside for Army, undefeated for 3 years, and they both won the Heisman.
I'll take your word for it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Now, if you go back to those legendary like Yankees teams, when Babe Ruth was running really fast in black and white.
Ruth and Gehrig.
Was it Ruth and Gehrig?
Row.
Yeah.
Ruth and Gehrig might be the answer there.
I would say, yeah, because they were the biggest stars of that dynasty. But again, there were so many stars. But yeah, those were the two. So that's your 1-2 punch there.
Was there ever and
if you want to go down that route, you had the Bash Brothers.
Oh,
right? They won together.
Bash Brothers. Canseco.
Oh, no, I meant Ozzy and Jose Canseco.
Oh, Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire is a great answer. I'm intrigued.
When you think of great sports duos, yeah, and they won. So
when you think of bullpens, I know you're gonna be like, well, at one point it was like John Wetland and Mariano Rivera. Has there ever really been a great ninth inning like 1-2 punch? The closers are memorable, but I don't think there's ever been a long-term 8-9.
I'm thinking of NBA. I haven't heard a lot of NBA. How about the Splash Brothers?
Bro, that's a great answer.
That's a fantastic answer. I'm surprised it took this long.
Let's go to Levi in Cincinnati. Levi, we'll take 2 more, and then we'll do a little Mike's Words of Wisdom, give away some prizes. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? I'm going to go kind of a little bit of a different route. I got 2, Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, or Phil Jackson and Kobe.
Okay. You're from Cincinnati. I thought you were going to say Chris Sabo and his goggles. That was my answer. It's a good one. I mean, Phil Jackson, man, just a winner.
As far as music, anyone else come to mind? That's right up there with Hall & Oates.
Duos?
Loggins, Musino, we said that, right?
Captain and Tennille? I'm trying to think of like current ones. Is there any current duos?
Legendary.
I mean, for me, it's Outkast.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
It is in the world of hip-hop for sure, and they transcended hip-hop with some of their hits. They're called the Fab Four, but as far as a writing duo, Lennon and McCartney were legendary.
Yeah,
as far as writing credit.
Yeah, well, you're not respecting George and Ringo then.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, again, it's not that easy of an answer because there's always, like, ancillary people, like we said, or a third superstar. Dynamic duo, the Hall & Oates of sports. Who else comes to mind? We'll wrap it up with your phone calls now.
Let's say hello to Tom in Cincinnati. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man. This is a little bit of a stretch, but it's baseball and Yankees. There's a small overlap between Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle that together put together quite a string.
Joe DiMaggio, he's like you on our side.
I was like, Maris and Mantle were around the same time, right? They were competing and battling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you know what? Your answers at Covino and Rich.
At Fox Sports Radio.
Eric B. and Rakim, Danny G?
Oh, that's a good one. How about Nice and Smooth is Funky?
How about Kid and Play?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Now we're going.
Let's take it back to House Party.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince?
Yeah.
All right, let's welcome our pal Mike, who runs this place.
Hey.
Hello, gentlemen.
Mike, I know you were upset because you're a big fan of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly they are the number one duo of all time. I don't think there's any question about that. But I really think we're all sleeping on Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli. They're a duo. I don't know how dynamic. You know what, though? Looking back, it's a shame how they were sort of dragged through the mud when, in today's world, we listen to fake music, period, nowadays.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All right, well, every week on a Wednesday during our afternoon show, Mike gives us words of wisdom, something he wants to pass along to you guys, maybe a life lesson, a phrase to live by, and all you have to do, we make it really simple. It's simpleton. Repeat it word for word, and you win a prize. We sort of bribe you to listen. We got Covino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio, Turbo Nerf footballs, and some koozies, and a little prize pack. So if you want to win, be dialing 877-999-FOX. This is what we call Mike's Words of Wisdom.
It's time for the guy that runs this place.
Just for clarification, guys, Big Mike does not run this place. He is not in charge of everything. He has no power over really anybody here. He does not run this place.
It's Big Mike's Words of Wisdom on a Wednesday.
All right. Whenever you're ready, Big Mike.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become. So, maybe stop thinking about tacos.
Ooh. It's brilliance right there.
I'm so offended that I can't even remember the words.
That's got to be racist.
How am I going to stop thinking about that?
Can't stop thinking about tacos.
I have leftovers from yesterday.
So if you can repeat what our buddy Mike said word for word, his words of wisdom.
I think, Rich, we should have it one more time.
Mike, you want to read it one more time?
One more time for everybody.
Read it. He knows it off the dome.
All right, Covino, go to your pan flute again.
All right.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become. So, maybe stop thinking about tacos.
I like that. I feel smarter after hearing that, and I'm hungry. So, if you could repeat that verbatim, you win. Simple as that. 877-99 on Fox. We take all your phone calls, and we pick a winner. We do it next here on Covino and Rich, in for Dan Patrick. when your team is out, I'm not saying do you pull another rooting interest, but if you're a sports fan, you still want to like watch or not. Do you pout and like, I'm not watching, so the season's over for you? Are you really a sports fan if that's your angle here? So rooting's not the word, Rich. It's almost like, do you pull for someone else, or is there a storyline that is automatically the default? Like, is the storyline the Brewers then because no one expected them to win? They're a young team.
I mean, I think there's two ways to go about it. I mean, when your team's out of it, I have friends that at this point say, I'm done watching. And
yeah,
you have
is
other
that
friends,
the formula?
You have other friends that are like, dude, it's a postseason. What do you mean you're not watching? I think what you do when your team is out of it, you don't jump on a bandwagon, but I think what you do is you step on one. You don't ever claim to be a fan of that team, but right now, as a Mets fan, they failed to make the postseason. They stink. But if I said, you know what, Cal Raleigh's having a magical year. I do like everyone on that team. It's a really likable team. They've never won before. Yeah, maybe I'll pull for the Mariners.
Or maybe you root for a good pal like Dan Byer and say, hey, man, the Brewers.
Cheerio, Terang.
Rich, wouldn't you cheer for your kid's favorite team?
Oh, you mean the Dodgers? Yeah.
And by the way, we live in Los Angeles, right? So that's also another angle here. The question is, if your team's out, do you tune out? Is that the only way to do this? Or, as a sports fan, do you say, and let's make it very clear, Rich, you said it, but I want to reiterate, we're not saying all of a sudden you're a fan of that team. Get out of here. That's garbage. That's garbage. Basura. That's trash. But do you now pull for another team? Because that's what you're left with. So, all right, my team couldn't win. Let me be the bigger person, and I'm going to root for my buddy's team.
I've heard.
Hey, I like this team. They really play good ball. They deserve it. Like, where does your maturity levels go in this case? And that's what I'm trying to figure out today because the Yankees are fresh out of it, and that's what's on my mind. I'm like, well, man, this season's been popping. We've been saying it all season, right, Danny G? Baseball's popping. Baseball. Guess what? Our team's out, but it's still popping. Yeah. So now what?
No, in the pre-show meeting, Rich said it's only popping if my team's still in it.
It's only popping to me, but I'm still watching.
I don't know, man. It's still electric. All the games yesterday, there's an intensity level that we haven't seen in a long time.
Well,
not with my Yankees, of course, but you're seeing some great baseball.
I actually think one of the great things about being a sports fan is watching an event and having a natural reaction to a game that you didn't know that you were cheering for a certain team. You may have no dog in the fight, but if you sit down tonight and watch one of these two games, there may be a team where obviously you're just like, yeah, you know, and I kind of want the Brewers to win. I love that about being a sports fan is you go into a game thinking you don't care and you come out of it and you're like, why was I rooting for that team the whole time?
Dude, I love that, and that's what I love about fighting, right? Because there's so many times in a preliminary fight or whatever, you're watching two guys you don't really know, but by the middle of that fight, you're pulling for somebody, right? You're like, yeah, I want that guy. And I love that about this thought and about this theory. I'm going to watch these games, and I'm going to figure it out. So I'm thinking it's Brewers. I really am.
Look at him trying to get back in.
How can I root for the Dodgers? How can I root for the Dodgers when they beat the Yankees in the World Series? But then again, I live in L.A. What's the mindset here? But I do love that thought that Dan Byer just shared, and I express that when it comes to fighting. Your heart or your decision comes from the sense of they got this underdog fight that I relate to, and I want to see this guy win. You could feel that way. I'm slapping the bass to Eric B. and Rakim.
Slapping the bass.
Don't sweat the technique of CNR on FSR. Covino and Rich, speaking of dynamic duos, in for the great Dan Patrick. Always a pleasure to be here. Perhaps you know us from our regularly scheduled program from 5 to 7 on the East, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West. But you can stream us anytime on YouTube. Covino and Rich FSR. We're streaming live now. Covino and Rich FSR. And, of course, wherever you stream your podcast, definitely check us out. I think you'll like our show.
I think so. I know so.
Thank you. Now, we got to get our phone calls for Big Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom.
Who?
Big Mike, the guy that was just here. Runs this place. He has wisdom. You have to repeat it verbatim for a prize. And then we'll wrap up the phone calls of dynamic duos.
And I want a new angle on this as well. We had the dynamic duos in sports or music. What comes to mind? I want to know if you think there's a clear answer as far as what's the dynamic duo in broadcasting now?
In the booth.
In the NFL, in baseball, in basketball, is there a duo that you're like, oh, they're clearly at the top of the game right now?
So we'll wrap up with your phone calls. And coming up, we got Midweek Major, the biggest stories in sports and pop culture. We decide here together, are they mid-stories, week, or major? We do that every Wednesday.
All right, let's get a winner for Mike's Words of Wisdom. Let's get some dinosaur barbecue.
Yeah, we got a turbo ball to give away.
Let's go to the Carousel Center. Let's go to Turtles. Let's go up to Syracuse, my old stomping grounds. And say what's up to Kevin. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, boys.
What's up, buddy?
Not much.
Whenever.
I got it.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Let it establish, and here we go.
The mind is everything what you think you become, so maybe stop thinking about tacos.
Yeah! Bam!
One and done?
That's
One
a
and
winner.
done.
Wow.
That's a winner.
And that's how you do it.
Yo, Kev, appreciate you, man, and keep rocking in the Cuse, man.
Man, good for
Likewise.
you. Great
Yeah,
job.
congratulations, Kev. Going to add you to the mailing list as soon as the Nerf footballs arrive.
We have a 5-call limit on this because not everybody gets it on the first shot.
First shot,
yeah,
look at that.
that's how you do it, man. Thank
By the
you
way,
very much.
I'll see you up in Syracuse. I'm never going to go back there again until they give me some type of love at my college. It's my rule.
I mean, look, you went to a school that's known for great broadcasting. I went to Montclair State University. Where's my accolades? I'm in for DP right now.
No,
they don't even acknowledge me.
Sorry. Not Montclair.
Montclair.
Yeah, Montclair State University, MSU, the Redhawks. I'm your guy.
Let me go back to the phones with you, and we're talking about those dynamic duos in sports, music, entertainment. Let me throw this one at you. In the world of broadcasting now, is it Tirico and Collinsworth? Is it Buck and Aikman? Is it Tony Romo and Jim Nantz? Is it my dude Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady? Who is the dynamic duo in broadcasting right now?
Boom! We'll take your phone calls. 877-99 on Fox.
I'm a fan of Greg Olson when he was with Burkhardt. I like Tom Brady, but I thought Burkhardt and Olson had something special going on.
They did.
But then again, I love Danny G, your L.A. Dodgers guy who does football. Joe Davis is great. A lot of good broadcasting teams right now. All right, let's
I have an unpopular answer.
What is it?
Well, only unpopular because so many people love to hate on Joe Buck.
Yeah.
But I find him to be smooth and familiar and familiarity, and I think it's Buck and Aikman. I do. As far as current day.
I think what makes me feel
Bears fans don't agree with you.
Dude, so many people. I know so many people don't.
To me,
he gets so much unnecessary hate. He's
Well,
like
they have a problem.
Nickelback of
Chicago
broadcasters.
fans have a problem with Aikman right now for being critical of Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what. Historically, though, the number one answer is Madden and Summerall.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your answer traditionally. I would say now, Romo and Nance are good. I love Kevin Burkhardt. I think he's the best, but I don't know if he has a solid enough number two with Brady right now.
Most of the lists online are showing Buck and Aikman as number one.
I'm a fan of Tirico, and I know Collinsworth bothers people, but I find him like funny and insightful. I roll at times with his obvious observations, but I think it feels big because it's Sunday night. It's a big game when you hear Tirico.
That's a great point.
So,
yeah. So, certain guys, when you hear their voice, it's a big deal.
And Rich, on the come up, you mentioned both guys separately. Greg Olson is now with Joe Davis for Fox.
I'm telling you, that's probably their best combo. And I love KB. I'll tell you, baseball has done a great job. I know ESPN and certain networks get crap, rightfully so, and Apple TV. There have been some broadcasting teams for these national games where it's like, that wasn't good. Joe Davis, great announcer. Adam Amin has been doing a great job. And I think teaming up Francoeur with Ron Darling and Verducci, some of these teams have been really good for baseball. So, when we live in a world of a lot of critics.
You could put them in the Hall of Very Good, though, Rich.
But they don't work together on the usual, right?
As DP would say, yeah, because they're not a dynamic duo. They just happen to be working together, doing a great job.
That's true.
Right?
All right, let's go to Scotty in Florida. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, Good morning, guys. I'm going to go old school on this one, Bird McHale. And if you want duos in a rivalry, I'm going Palmer Nicholas, Judge Schmales, Al Turbic.
Those are good. Those are great answers. Now, I love the angle of could someone be a duo if they're rivals, like Magic and Bird? Is that a duo? Is that a duo?
That opens up another hour.
Danny G, that's a topic for another day because
it doesn't, because those are called rivalries.
Exactly.
That's really it. There's a whole word for that.
Oh wait, what?
We're saying dynamic duos.
Oh,
that means they're on the same team.
Wait,
that
rivalries.
would be rivalries.
Oh.
Write that down. We'll do that next.
Mayor.
Another time.
All right, let's say hi to. Wait a minute, that's something different.
Those are opponents.
Tone, what's up? Tony in Oregon, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey,
hey, on the broadcast team right now, even though I'm a Bears fan, maybe because I'm critical of Caleb too, but I'd go with Aikman and Buck.
Yeah.
And then I don't think anybody brought up in the golfing world, so I was trying to think of something. And I think Tiger Woods and Butch Harmon, they did some pretty good damage together.
Yeah. He's from Oregon. I'll give a shout out again. No commercial here. I said I watched Chad Powers last night, and I said I've heard no one talk about it, so I thought it would probably stink, and I thought it was great. The football comedy on Hulu. Chad Powers played at Oregon. That the show starts where he blows the national championship for the Ducks. So, let's go to Fargo and say hi to Mike.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say Greg Olson is becoming a class of his own, so he needs someone else with him because he's so good.
He really is good. I love KB and then Joe Davis, so I think either one, yeah.
Yeah, he's famous, man. He kills it. And then I would say Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Great one, man. That's a good one to end on. I think that's great.
Yeah. That's a great one. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Mike Lowry.
And if you just joined us, I was listening to 80s on 8 on the way in today, and Mark Goodman was like, and there they are, Hall & Oates, the most successful duo of all time.
If we're going to bring up Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, we have to say like Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. You know,
we don't have to.
Well, they were in like 5 movies together.
And by the way, on your way in today, what, 210?
No, a svelte 183. Yeah, thank you. 183.
Wait, hold, you got to do the Dan Patrick thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich Davis, 6 foot, 195.
5'10 3/4, 180 something. Thank you. All right, so you could add at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio, most successful duos of all time in life and in sports. But we declare today it's Jordan Pippen. But don't forget about Brady and Gronk because they're modern day.
Montana and Rice.
Yeah.
All right, we got more Covino and Rich. We'll do midweek major, dive more into the Dodgers, some playoff baseball, NFL, all coming up right here, Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am.
take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto tossed the first complete game in the postseason since back in 2017. He led the Dodgers past the Brewers in Game 2 of the NL Championship Series. L.A. right fielder Enrique Hernandez says Yamamoto buckled down after allowing a first-pitch homer.
He kept his composure. He didn't let that affect him and kept us in the game.
The Dodgers now have a commanding 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 set. Now it heads west for Game 3 Thursday. The ALCS resumes tonight with a crucial Game 3 from Seattle. The Mariners stole home field away from the Blue Jays. They're ahead 2-0 in that series. Red Sox third baseman Alex Bregman, he'll reportedly opt out of his contract and become a free agent for the second time in as many years. Boston could sign Bregman to a new deal this winter, though. The Mavericks are signing coach Jason Kidd to a multi-year contract extension. Dallas locked him up after heavy interest from the Knicks over the summer. And the Rangers are the first team in NHL history to be shut out in each of their first 3 home games. They were blanked by the Oilers last night. Edmonton's Stuart Skinner made 30 saves there. And that's sports. I'm Scott Davidson.
DP.
Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the 4 Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Sitting in, dynamic duo. That's Covino and Rich. Always a pleasure to be here in for DP. Thank you. Now, if you're new to us, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Covino and Rich. Check it out. Uncensored, unhinged, unleashed. And, of course, we're on Monday through Friday right here on Fox Sports Radio, 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West. We also have a bonus podcast that I think, personally, is some of the best stuff we do. It's called Overpromise because Blubber Lips Davis over here talks so much he overpromises things we never get to.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to tell you?
But we do it on our bonus pod that you can watch. It's a whole interactive experience. Be part of it. Overpromise. We have a brand new episode up, episode 112, Peaches and Cream. Overpromise with Covino and Rich. And it's all on the YouTube page, Covino and Rich FSR. Covino and Rich FSR. Again, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
Going to get to a lot this hour. A lot of NFL. We're going to talk about the Dodgers and how they duped us all.
Don't overpromise.
I'm going to try not to. But I do want to say, 25 years ago today, a show debuted on HBO. Not a spin-off, but from the creator of the most successful sitcom in network history. Pretty good. Larry David debuted Curb Your Enthusiasm 25 years ago today. So that's one of those, holy Nikes. 25 years ago?
And how many years ago was
Just
it
like
when
that?
we were watching First and 10, The Bulls Mean Business, and Dream On, and all those shows on
Yeah,
HBO?
so
That must have been
20
125 years ago.
25 years ago, Curb Your Enthusiasm debuted, and I always thought it was one of the best comedies. I actually, hot take, I like Curb better than Seinfeld sometimes. It's a little more raw, a little more relatable.
I don't know about that.
No.
The thing about Curb, though, is it didn't take at least one break. So you say 25 years, and it just ended, 2 seasons ago or a season ago?
Yeah.
But they took like a 9-year hiatus or something in
There
there?
were breaks in between,
Yeah.
and they weren't long seasons like Seinfeld. But when you think about all the comedy Larry David's brought us between those two shows, so props to him. 25 years since Curb, so just a little timestamp today. As we hang in for the great Dan Patrick here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love how they solved a murder mystery because Larry David was filming during a Dodgers game.
And that is wild. And we're going to get to the Dodgers. I do want to bring up one thing.
That's a true story you can look up on your own time.
We're going to talk Dodgers and baseball playoffs and NFL, but don't blink because another NBA season is going to be here before you know it. I did think it was cool to hear the return of Round Ball Rock, the John Tesh theme that we all love so much.
Who's a bigger fan of John Tesh than you? Rich listens to him on the regular.
I never listened to John Tesh in my life.
He's just excited for the rest of the world to join his fun.
Basketball.
The Peacock announcer was just casually talking over the intro of this NBA preseason game with that playing behind him, and it just made you feel, like a kid again.
Basketball, yeah.
You hear this song, you'd slide into the kitchen.
Dunk it.
And you play with that. Did everyone have that Nerf hoop that went over the door?
Yep.
You get all ready for some basketball. It's back. John Tesh is back.
That song is so synonymous with great 90s NBA that we all grew up with, that made us fall in love maybe with basketball, right? So the return of Round Ball Rock. But let's go to the Dodgers for a second. Last night, I talked about this earlier, but the more I'm thinking about it, did the Dodgers dupe us, Covino, by
like Mark Duper?
Like, not intentionally, but by not winning 110 games, by battling for that division until the last weeks of the season with the Padres, by
it's not the Dodgers duping us, or did they F with us only to show up big and be that team all along? It's shame on us for not realizing the obvious of it's a long season, health is wealth, and we should have known that if everybody's healthy come postseason, they're going to be impossible to beat.
And that was the goal, and that's the goal in every sport,
remember how deep
right?
their pitching was?
What is the thing that applies to all sports? Just get into the playoffs and be healthy and ready for when you're in. I can't say that I wasn't surprised. I think we were all surprised that the Dodgers barely won their division, and they were the 3 seed, which means they had to play in the wild card round. No one would have ever thought the Dodgers would win roughly 90 games, have to play in the wild card, and go through all this.
And have to click, though, at the right time. And sure enough, Muncy's hitting bombs, Teoscar's hitting bombs, Kike Hernandez is turning it up like he always does.
And every single guy you just mentioned missed a good amount of time.
Yeah, as Ron Darling said, Kike Hernandez is looking like Keith Hernandez in the playoffs.
I saw that. Yeah, I heard that.
But you guys on the afternoon show, you talk about this often, that baseball's a little bit different because no matter your record, no matter exactly what went on through that long season, it's just whatever team is hot at the time. We've seen the San Francisco Giants and other teams like that come together right before the playoffs at the exact perfect time and then make a run.
No doubt. In fact, the stat goes, of the 30 years since they incorporated the wild card, since the Major League Baseball strike, and then they came back again with the new realignment, since then, 30 seasons, only 7 of those 30 seasons has the team with the best record won the World Series.
Oh,
which is really interesting when you think how 23 out of 30 years, it was really just a team that put it together, got healthy, got hot in October, and that's just you're seeing it with the Dodgers because the Brewers were the best team all along.
Thank
all
you,
along.
Dwayne Stats. And speaking of stats, you got to tip your hat. I got a flat brim on today because.
How do you feel about that, by the way?
Well, I feel like certain hats are made to be worn certain ways. I rock a sweet curve. I curve them like the best of them.
Can you be a guy that does both? I feel like
my curve is like Flash Gordon's, bro. I
know.
can curve it up. Yeah, you can because certain hats are meant to be curved and other hats are meant to be flat.
Some birds are not meant to be caged.
It depends on what type of hat it is. But speaking of hats, Yamamoto was rocking his Dodgers hat strong yesterday. Complete game. The first since 2017, first postseason complete game. Last person to do it was Verlander against the Yankees all those years ago. And the Dodgers haven't done it since 2004, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, known as Danny G.
I'm hung up on your hat for a second. I'm sorry.
What?
I just by the way, it's funny to think that the baseball hat, a piece of sports equipment, is such a universally, what would you say, accepted fashion statement.
Yeah. No one wears a chef's hat. As Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg has some line about, like, you only wear that if you're a chef.
Yeah.
Baseball
or Jalen
has
Hurts.
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts. That's a funny
Unless
one.
you're the Swedish chef or Jalen Hurts.
Baseball hat is pretty much the only hat from sports that we rock on a regular basis.
Here's one more pitching stat for you.
Yeah.
Blake Snell and Yoshi Yamamoto are the first starters since 2016 to throw 8+ innings in consecutive postseason games.
And when your starting pitching is delivering like that, the Dodgers are going to be hard to beat. And they didn't have that in the regular season.
And we forget that in the preseason, in spring training, before all the injuries happened, the whole joke was
how deep they were, yeah.
And they got Blake Snell. When they signed Blake Snell, that was almost like an FU to everyone else. Like, all right, defending champions. Well, hold on. And you added Blake Snell, and now.
But then he didn't play all season because he was hurt.
But the Dodgers fans' dreams are coming to fruition. Your big free agent should have thrown a complete game win in game one, but Dave Roberts, wanted to, toy with everyone. Game two, your Japanese signed pitcher that you outbid people for and won, Yamamoto, did what you wanted him to do.
Signature moment.
Now, what's
time.
next? Glass now? If he gets it done, and then what? Game four, you go to the biggest star in baseball over the last 50-plus years, Shohei Ohtani. So, arguably, the Dodgers are doing everything we thought they would do 6 months ago. It's just the last 6 months of injuries and confusion made us forget maybe for a second.
Reminding everybody that they are the new evil empire, without a doubt, and that
With
the rest of the world,
likable players, though.
It's hard to deny. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I saw.
I just hate their stupid hip flexor dance.
I love that. That's what makes me like them.
Yeah, they
I
are
actually,
likable.
Cove, I saw a Yankees fan like you post yesterday. You know what? Yes, I hate the Dodgers, but it's hard to root against some of the players because I like a couple of the players on their team.
How could you not like Mookie Betts?
Yeah, they're
How
just.
could you not like
Freddie?
They have
Freddie Freeman?
They have Magic Johnson smiles.
How could you not like Shohei Ohtani? He transcends, fandom. He's just everybody loves him.
And Danny, as I've pointed out before, we're new to the Dan Patrick audience for a lot of people. I'm a Mets fan from New York. My kids are 5 and 8, and I see them falling in love with the Dodgers because we live out here in Los Angeles. All their little schoolmates and all the kids they play Little League and softball and baseball with like the Dodgers. So I'm watching them, wanting to hate them as a Mets fan, but it's hard to see why my kids wouldn't like you said, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei, Will Smith, Tommy Edman. These guys are Teoscar. It's hard to really say they're hateable. It's like when Steph and the Golden State Warriors kept winning, and you're like, how do you hate
they are?
How do you hate Steph Curry? It was very hard.
I mean, I sort of hate Freddie Freeman's flat top. I'm not a fan of that.
Those big chompers, that smile.
His chompers bother me.
I mean, Clayton Kershaw, that story where you got to see him sort of close out the career the right way, and that he's, I don't know, it just feels like.
And even Max Muncy, dumped by the A's back in the day, and now leads the Dodgers in all-time postseason home runs.
So the question was,
Max Muncy makes me realize how many people need glasses and don't realize it. Remember, he got glasses and got back to where he was.
Yeah,
you might not even realize how blind you are. It's true.
Did the Dodgers F with us all year?
A little bit.
Or is it a matter of don't sleep on the usual suspects. Like we stated first hour, it's like we spend so much time speculating. It's just the nature of the beast and what guys do and what we do. It's like, oh, who do you think has a shot this year? But it comes down to the usual suspects more time than it doesn't.
I'm going to make one dumb analogy and we'll move on. We'll talk a little NFL. I commented on your flat brim hat.
Yeah, you won't let that go.
Well, I won't because it's I'll give you an analogy. You know how some ball players, like, I find it funny when there are those rare baseball players that sometimes they'll wear the high socks and then sometimes they'll wear, as I call it, the Ken Griffey Jr. look, where it's the very low pants down to the ankle, like the CC Sabathia jammies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be a guy that rocks the flat brim and then on another day rocks like a totally curved brim?
What do you mean you can't?
But you have
what
to.
do you mean can you be?
I almost
am.
I want to feel like.
Who do you think you are? I am. It's not about the guy. Do you realize? You're
you
not
need
a
to
guy
pick.
to wear hats. You're not a guy to wear hats. I'm telling you, certain hats are meant that way, and other hats are meant to be curved.
Cam Newton gives us the strength to do whatever we want because
That's right.
he'll wear whatever hat he wants.
That guy wears a Mountie hat. Yeah, so absolutely. It depends on what kind of hat it is. Some are meant to be bent and curved, and some are meant to be worn flat brim. It just depends on the fit.
Well,
so
I'm just saying.
Yes, the answer is yes.
So
you could do
can.
both.
Okay, just
I do
asking.
both all the time. Some hats you buy come with the curved brim, so it just is what it is.
I'm just saying, like, can you be the guy that wears baggy jeans one day and then skinny jeans the next? It's like different
I
looks.
think you can do whatever you want. You got to mix it up.
Well, I want to bring up one other thing that has to do with the Dodgers, and then we're going to get into a lot of NFL. We're at that point, Danny G, every year we always say, around week 6 is when we could start really assessing.
Yeah, last year you guys extended it to week 7.
I almost feel like I want to extend it again. I just saw a headline. It was like, bad week, bad game, or bad season for the Bills. And I'm like, oh, let's slow down. Who knows?
Well, 2 in a row, I would say.
Oh, come on. They're 4-2.
I know. Yeah.
We're like a third of the way through the season.
So we're gonna assess because Danny, I know there's some funny power rankings that have come out. It's like who some people have at the top. It's like, do we really believe it or not? Well, we'll talk NFL, but with the Dodgers just wrapping up 2 victories in Milwaukee, there was a Dodgers fan, a social media influencer.
Yeah.
Who
his name is Willie Prince Mata. Willie Prince Mata put on his Dodgers jersey and he went to Miller Park, and he was blown away by the hospitality of not only the workers and the concession people, but all the fans who were there to welcome him in Dodgers gear.
Yeah. I mean, the audio's not great. Play like 5 seconds. I mean, he was going around Miller Park. Take a listen.
To Miller Park, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Milwaukeeans are awesome people, the nicest people I think I've ever met.
I mean, nicest people I ever met. I mean, would you call them Milwaukeeans? Is that the right word?
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I thought they were Milwaukeeans.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He was shocked
Actually,
by
it's pronounced Milwaukee.
how hospitable and nice they were. It was a culture shock for I imagine he's an LA guy as a Dodgers fan. For example, is he in Phoenix?
He's out of Phoenix, but he's a big Dodgers fan.
But he's a big Dodgers fan. Like, for example, when I went to the World Series last year at Dodger Stadium, I wore my Yankees jersey. I got heckled, man, but I expected that. I didn't feel like my life was being threatened, but I was definitely heckled and definitely made fun of, and I felt a little weird with my girlfriend there and everyone calling me out left and right, especially after they lost and I'm walking out. And you're not going to get that at a Miller Park. You're just not.
It's fan bases, right? It's like some fan bases will see an opposing fan and be like, hey, good luck. Welcome to the stadium. Enjoy. And then, like, listen, they do not treat you like that in Philly. I promise you, if I were to ever go to Philadelphia, which I have, I put my Mets jersey in a bag, and I don't even put it on until I get to the stadium because
a trash bag.
Because I feel like if I leave my car, if I would have left my car wearing a Mets jersey, I feel like someone would have messed with my car. Philly, not so much. If you're a Yankees fan and you go to Fenway, you think you're going to be treated kindly?
It's just they're so happy to have you there visiting their ballpark. They want to make sure you have such a great experience you come back.
I don't want to kiss the ass of...
So, wait, hold on. It's 2 things, though.
Yeah.
Kindness actually exists, so that's the shock. People are actually kind in other places. So that's refreshing and shocking all at the same time. And there really is something called customer care and etiquette and hospitality where certain places take a lot of pride in, hey, make sure you welcome people so that they have a great experience. And that's what happens at Miller Park, but it doesn't happen everywhere. And we notice that too when we travel. Like, damn. Some people lean into it, some not at all because they're like, it's New York. Who cares? You're coming back regardless. We don't need you.
Yeah. Like you gave the analogy before. It's sometimes if a girl's too good looking, she feels like she doesn't really need to do much.
She doesn't need to do a whole lot to please you.
Yeah. I mean, like that's like that. I feel like the worst Super Bowl ever was in New York. We've covered, not to age ourselves, we've covered almost 20 Super Bowls, right? And New York was the worst one because New York City was like, yeah, Super Bowl's here. Who cares?
We said it's the difference of you're lucky to be here. Hey, we're walking over here.
Yeah,
East Coast, man, get out of our way. Meanwhile, tourists are happy to be there. It's the difference between you're lucky to be here versus we're lucky to have you. We're happy to have you.
Indianapolis.
Miller Park, Milwaukee, Indianapolis.
We went to
when we were there.
the Super Bowl in Indianapolis was great. The Super Bowl, we've been to All-Star games.
So are you saying
Kansas
Indianapolis
City?
is the chubby chick? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I
here?
am. So Indianapolis is the welcoming chubby girl.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I will
Doing
say
anything they can to please you is what you're saying.
Exactly.
I got you.
even within the state of Wisconsin, people might be nice at in Milwaukee at a Brewers game, but then I've gone to like a Wisconsin Badgers football game against Iowa. They were brutal. I was right next to the student section. They were savage. They were hostile, and they were yelling.
Didn't they pant you and beat you up?
No. But listen, it can differ even in the state.
The Brewers. I've been to a game at Miller Park, and I back up that Dodgers fan. They have a really cool situation where there's like I guess you would say the little downtown area in Milwaukee where the bars, there's certain bars where if you buy a drink or a brat or a sandwich or something, they give you a little ticket. And you're like, what's this ticket for? They go, oh, that's free if you want to take one of the little buses to the stadium. That way you don't have to drive and you can have some drinks and stuff. And you're like, what? This is amazing. They have these little, like almost like free buses that it's like, hey, have some drinks, have some cheese curds, have some
we all
brats.
have a sense of being ethnocentric to the point where we think wherever we are and whatever we do is the greatest. And then we're just surprised that other people also have something cool going on.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a pretty cool scene. I would have expected that in Milwaukee.
So, hey, if you want, hit us up at Covino Rich if you feel like there's a stadium or city experience that, you give the thumbs up. Who do you give a good Yelp review to? Essentially, who rolled out the red carpet for you? We'll take your feedback. Plus, coming up, we're going to do Midweek Major, all the biggest stories in the world of sports and entertainment. We'll let you know, are they mid? Are they weak? Are they major stories? We'll break that all down. Plus, we are going to get to some NFL, and what a wild season this has been. Who are arguably your top 5 teams? If you were to do your power rankings a third of the way through, is it obvious? Is it ridiculously not obvious? Would you be shocked who's in your top 5? We'll get to all that next right here, Fox Sports Radio. But yesterday after the show, I went to the gym. 'Cause, hit your mid-40s. Guys just work a little extra hard.
Girls for the girls,
it's my
man.
birthday.
Yeah.
You hit your 40s and you're like, all right, I got, got to work harder. I'm at the gym, and there's only one TV on the Dodgers-Phillies game. And I looked around the gym.
You know, I think one word: pathetic.
I looked around, Danny G, and I commented on this. I left a video on my Instagram story in disgust because
I saw it.
I looked around and I saw 9 people with Dodger hats or T-shirts on. So let me tell you, LA people represent the Dodgers, but you know what they are? They're full of baloney.
No, you can't call them the LA Dodger fans, though,
baloney.
Rich. A real Dodger fan is not going to be in the middle of 2 miles of cardio.
I know. Someone told me that. Go to Echo Park. Go to downtown LA.
Yeah, I said you go deeper into LA and then tell me that they're not going to have the Dodgers game on all the TVs. No, Sherman Oaks. I'm sorry, it's not Los Angeles.
I get it.
It is Los Angeles.
Yeah, but
I live in LA.
It's not Dodger Los Angeles.
As transplants, we're from the East Coast. It's really disappointing though, because I experienced that a lot, as Rich did yesterday. It's like, you guys for real right now? How do you not have it on?
Dan Byer, it's wild.
Well, I was going to say, I try to give the license plate frame people the benefit of the doubt when I know that their team is playing at that point. Like maybe this poor guy's at work, and I know he's got the game on the radio though, as he's listening to the Rams as he has his Rams license plate frame.
It dawned on me at the gym when I was doing triceps, a little rope pull down deal, the guy next to me had a Dodgers hat and a Dodgers T-shirt on. And I was like, all right, I'm going to observe this guy because the one TV across the room is the only one with the Dodgers game on. And this guy must have thought I was into him or something because I kept looking at him like, is he going to glance at the TV? This guy is wearing a Dodgers hat and a Dodgers shirt. There's one TV in front of the treadmills on the far side that I kept myself going back to look at just because I'm a sports fan.
Did the treadmills have the little personal TV?
No, they did not.
Okay.
And
you think the treadmills we go to have personal TVs? We're lucky if they work.
Full selection of cable.
We go to the weekends gym until we get that Dan Patrick money.
Yeah, until we get that DP money.
We know a lot of passionate Dodger fans, and then obviously in every city where you have a winning team, you're going to see like the Patriots. There were a lot of Patriots gear all throughout Boston and Massachusetts, and not all of those people were riding with the Patriots when they were losing.
I think what Danny G is saying, we're in the San Fernando Valley, and maybe the Valley is a different type of fan.
Maybe, but I'll say this.
They're more into all-valley karate.
There's levels of fans, right? There's levels of so many things, right?
That's what it is.
There's levels of fans, and again, not just fans. Anything you talk about, there's going to be levels of. There's some people that are music fans, and then there's no. There's music fans that know cuts of albums and singers of groups, and other people I don't know who's in that band.
They're wearing the T-shirt of the band.
And
they couldn't name you a single song.
Weak. They might be a fan of a band, and you're like, they might not know the album names, but they know a couple songs they like. I just know me and how I am with my sports teams. If the Mets, maybe because the Mets stink, but when the Mets are in the playoffs, I've traveled to New York to be there at the game, or I've actually said to the boss, can I broadcast from home that day so I don't miss any during my commute? If you're a fan, there's no way you wouldn't be locked in during a postseason game.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen Covino on his phone at a restaurant during a regular season game. I don't know.
I witnessed Danny G watching a Raiders game at a Rams game. How about that?
I don't disagree with that. You went to a Rams game because you probably got a nice opportunity. But you're I still want to check out.
Yeah, my kid wanted to go. I brought him, but I'm I'm watching the whole Raiders game on my phone.
It's because you care. Yeah, it's just some people don't care as much. It's as simple as that.
It's casual versus diehard. It's you could say the same again about music. There's people that.
And if anyone gives you flack, it's what? Why? Because I care a lot?
Yeah, it's casual fans versus diehards.
Yeah,
That's
again,
what it is.
Maybe I shouldn't care so much about the casual fan. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. But there are times where I'm man, Dodgers tonight. And I'm just trying to make conversation with a dad at the school. And he's oh, they're playing tonight? I'm they're playing tonight. It's the divisional series. What do you like? Stuff like that will drive me bonkers.
What an action-packed showgram program. Covino and Rich, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, in for DP. Most cars on the road could use a little TLC, Rich. At Mako, we bring your car back to life with affordable paint jobs and light collision repairs. Get a free estimate today. Better get Mako. Now, Rich, we were talking about earlier on, talking about dynamic duos. And I was looking through our social media.
Our Twitter feedback, I totally neglected. We got like a ton of feedback, really funny ones too.
At Covino and Rich and at Fox Sports Radio. CJ said, how could you forget the most popular duo of the week? Those two boneheads, Dart and Scattaboo.
Dart and Scattaboo, my favorite boneheads.
Right? They're like a wrestling tag team duo, it seems. Two wild and crazy NFL stars.
Speaking of that, a lot of people are hitting us up with tag teams from old school wrestling like Axe and Smash.
Luke and Butch, man.
Luke and Butch. Dustin hit us up and said Herb Street and Fowler as far as commentators. Back in the day, our very own Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann, Sports Center.
That's a great one,
People were saying Cheech and Chong, Riggs and Murtaugh, Dre and Eminem, Ann and Nancy Wilson, the Nasty Boys. There's a lot of funny ones that we got. So at Covino and Rich, a lot of great feedback today.
Speaking of Dre, you know how all those kids go 6'7".
You know, my daughter, who's 8, actually asked me, she goes, Dad, why do the boys in my school say 6'7"? I'm like, because they're little idiots. I don't know what.
I saw a meme that said something along the lines of, we didn't do 6'7" because we did 1, 2, 3 into the 4. That's what we did.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us, Covino and Rich. We got midweek major coming up.
Out here on the west side, I know the east side gets chilly. It turned hoodie weather overnight. It was like 100 degrees 2 days ago, and now I feel like a little bee, but I'm like, it's chilly.
Yeah, but just for a day.
Yeah, it's going to get hot again, you think? Or what?
No, it is.
Yeah, cold front kicked in, and as they say, the West Coast makes you soft.
Yeah, it does.
We grew up on the East Coast.
I went to Syracuse.
A little breeze kicks in, and now we're like, ooh.
Bro, I'd walk to the bar in a T-shirt in Syracuse.
Ooh.
Now it's a little chilly here in L.A., and I'm like, ooh.
Sam, hand me my freezy freakies and my earmuffs, please.
Well,
it's way cold.
You know what we got to do every Wednesday? It's called Midweek Major.
Covino and Rich get you over the middle of the week with Midweek Major.
Ooh, I love that.
We throw sports and pop culture headlines and topics at the fellas, and it's like the kids say.
That's so mid. Week, definitely major.
CNR scoring. Midweek Major.
Yeah, I feel like 10 minutes is way too much for Spotty.
Yeah.
Before we hand things over to the number one and only host of this segment.
Way too much for today.
We like to roll the two big red love dice over there in the main studio.
I just rolled a mean 7.
Right. And now a rich roll.
6.
It's nipply in here.
Okay.
All right. Danny G's big red 6 dice.
6. Come on, 6.
It is. It's a 6.
Oh, 6-7!
Which means I win.
That's like the worst number I could have rolled.
That means Covino gets first take. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous person besides Judy Blume from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Spotty Boy.
Hey, guys.
My takeaway is that Scotch Plains needs to step it up.
They really do, honestly. There's not much going on there.
I heard they don't want to be known for you.
We got Judy Blume and Mark Shaman. That's about it.
What is it, like that town where the murderer, what is it?
Ed Gein is from Plainfield, Wisconsin.
Actually, the town next to me was Plainfield.
Yeah, Plainfield, New Jersey.
Oh, and the town on the other side of me, Westfield. Remember that show, The Watcher?
Oh, yeah.
That's the guy, The Watcher's from Westfield.
Yeah, but recently people are like, we don't want to be known for the town Ed Gein came from.
Well, then do something cooler.
Do something better.
Yeah. Well, Scotch Plains.
Hey, Scotch Plains, do something cooler. For now, you got Spot. What's up, buddy?
All right, how you guys doing?
Good.
Just stalling here. All right, LeBron dropping some dating advice for the gentleman out there, and that's, quote, watch out for the ruthless ass bees. I'll censor myself, bees.
Yeah.
So LeBron appeared on his wife's podcast, Everybody's Crazy, with a panel of other guests, and they were discussing relationships and how quickly they fall apart these days. So LeBron decided to chime in with some lessons learned from the Laker locker room, saying that how the cause is how women have flipped the script and guys are trying to be good asking themselves what they did wrong. He said, "It ain't you." He said that the crazy tales he's heard makes him believe that some women out there don't have men's best interests at heart. They're cutthroat and ruthless. So take it from LeBron. He's hearing it firsthand. Midweek or major. Stay away from the ruthless SBs.
It's just another lesson learned. Alice in Chains style. I think this is major.
Definitely major.
Because it's LeBron James, and it's great advice. I think we fail a lot of times as far as taking advice from our elders. And he's elder status right now, especially in the NBA.
He's Unk status.
No, he's elder status.
Oh, elders but higher than Unk?
He's got a son in the NBA. So when you think about this, he is a dad. And I'm sure he passes this information and this wisdom down to his kids. Like, hey, man, it's a different world we're living in. Kadeem Hardison style, different world. You gotta be careful out there because people are gonna try to get at you. And for these young players to ignore his wisdom, I think is shame on them. I think he's passing down some good information, some good life lessons to these young cats in the NBA, and they should be taking notes because let's just say what used to appear sweet and innocent, love and relationships back in the day, it's just not that way anymore, man.
No. Listen, I think it's major also.
Definitely major.
I wrote down the word you just said, wisdom. LeBron's got wisdom and maturity at this stage. He's no longer the 18-year-old kid from Akron. He's lived. He's seen stuff more than most have, right? And, just from watching a dumb show like Love is Blind, I feel like my wife and I constantly look at each other and say, my goodness, young people are so dumb.
Young people are trifling.
Young people lack discipline, maturity, how to handle anything.
Like, remember how we used to try to hang on to a relationship? People are disposable more than ever.
Yeah.
So they don't have a young man or woman's best interest in mind sometimes.
A lot of times it's, what's the next best thing? And LeBron James sees it more than anyone being in a locker room with these young men. So I think LeBron's words of wisdom trump our very own Mike's words of wisdom. I think.
Yeah, but we agree, major.
I saw one of those balloon popping shows that you see on YouTube or social media.
Oh yeah, where like you don't want to date someone, you pop a balloon. Yeah,
I saw a guy walk in and half the women popped the balloon because he was wearing sunglasses.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I'm at it.
And then they took the sunglasses off, and he was like the most handsome dude ever.
Yeah. People.
Like, oh, sorry.
Men and women, everyone's like thinks they're the greatest, and everyone's like oddly too picky now.
It's way too picky. Yeah. Too many options out there. All right, Josh Allen has his love of his life, so he's staying away from the ruthless SBs. But he seems to be gaining perspective from married life, which might be playing into his sort of lackluster season. So Allen spoke with ESPN ahead of Monday night's Bills' loss to the Falcons, and he was asked what his new wife, Haley Steinfeld, taught him about as they continue their life together, building their life together. The biggest revelation for Allen, he says, quote, "Maybe I am more than a football player." He went on to say that his whole dream as a kid was to be a QB and never thought of anything outside of that or beyond that. He said he hopes he gets to play the game for a very long time, as long as he physically can, but there is life after it as well. So maybe sort of changing perspective, rethinking life, or maybe rethinking life now, who knows. But he speaks very highly of his wife, saying that she's provides a lot of morale and support, midweek or major.
I think it is major.
Definitely major.
I'm not trying to say that maybe his mind is elsewhere now and thinking too much about those things, and that's why they lost 2 in a row. Because right now he needs to focus on being just a football player, but he's right. You retire, you're an old guy on the field, but a young man in life. So what's next? And I don't know why I thought of this, but I thought of Nolan Ryan, how like he has his whole life as a rancher, right? He was just as much of a ranch guy as he was a baseball player. So I'm sure there's more to life than baseball for Josh Allen. He just has to figure out what that is. That applies to everybody.
It's funny you would say Nolan Ryan because he also had a really supportive, great wife. I think the story is major, and I'll tell you why. I think it's major because it's very unfair to Haley Steinfeld for anyone to assume that 2 losses in a row have anything to do with his focus because he's married.
No, but people will point at that, especially when they hear this story.
Players have wives, girlfriends. Some have both. Some have kids, baby mamas. There's drama on and off the field for everyone. I think it's healthy that he's looking at life outside of, I'm not just a football player. And if you think that's the reason the Bills lost 2 in a row, you're an idiot.
And by the way, it goes with the trend of a lot of superstars of today, like Luka, who recently said, like, yeah, man, I don't plan on sticking around all that long because I got life to live.
Yeah, but Josh Allen didn't say that. He said he will play as long as he can.
But I think that we're seeing
priorities change.
a different priority with young people for sure.
I think it's a healthy one.
All right. Speaking of players in life after football, Jason Kelce definitely enjoying his life after football, making hundreds of millions of dollars hosting a podcast, but having to do some damage control this week. I guess with that popularity comes a little bit of negative side for something he didn't even do. So Kelce somehow got sucked into the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show controversy, with fake quotes being circulated online, gaining a lot of steam. So he had to take to X to defend himself. So the quote that he was getting wrongly attributed for, was, if Bad Bunny is a bad fit for the Super Bowl, then maybe people making those comments are a bad fit for America's future. So he had to go on X to say, unless you hear something directly from me, consider what's being conveyed somewhere else as false. He says he usually doesn't get involved in things like this because I'm sure there's so much fake stuff online, but he said he felt the need to address it with the number of accounts reposting this fake quote. So midweek or major?
I think it's major, not because
Definitely
of
major.
Jason Kelce. This is just one story of a bigger problem. And we've noticed it more than ever in the past few weeks. With all this AI stuff, with Sora and everyone making fake videos left and right, with all the political changes going on in the world, we can't really afford to not get the truth and get the facts wrong all the time. And it happens every day and more so than ever before. So it's not just Kelce. It's like, hey, is this real or not? That's becoming a big problem.
I think the positive spin on this for Jason Kelce should be, hey, I got a huge platform with millions of people watching my podcast with my brother. If you hear or see me say it there, it's true. Otherwise, assume it's not. And I agree with Covino. It's major in that.
Definitely major.
Sora and all this AI stuff, we've joked about how, remember, ads and fake girls ruined MySpace back in the 2000s? I think AI might ruin the scrolling experience. I think we might dip away from social media a little bit if it continues to just be all fake crap.
By the way, that video of me fighting a gorilla and winning was actually real.
No,
it was.
The match was fixed.
No, it was actually real.
The spot, the video you made of me stealing Chipotle napkins and the employees tackling me,
That was
it
real
real?
as well. That was real. No, that was real.
All right, you want to squeeze one more fun
Yes,
story?
please.
The reminder here, though, Spot, before we move on,
Yeah.
is to approach everything. And we have to do that as a show that does some prep, believe it or not. Hey, is that a real story or not? Is that real or not?
It's come to that.
Yeah, you have to approach everything you read and everything you see
On this thing, on this rectangle,
on your phone.
screen,
Is
any
this
screen.
real or not?
Bro.
If you approach everything with that in the back of your head, that's the only safe way to really handle it.
Hey, I got duped last night. I'm not even lying, and I'll admit it. I saw a video. It looked like from a Ring doorbell cam, and I thought a guy messed with a porcupine, and it shot like spikes at him. And my wife's like, you idiot, that's fake. I'm like, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah, then you feel deflated, and that's why
we'll all be dumb.
We're all prone to put the phones down, I think, sooner than later as a result.
Let me squeeze in one more in honor of spooky season in the postseason. So Dodgers star Teoscar Hernandez fully embracing, I love this story, he's fully embracing spooky season. As the Dodgers take on the Brewers this week for the NLCS, Hernandez reveals that he didn't stay at the Dodgers team hotel in Milwaukee because his wife believes that it's haunted with ghosts. Actually, by the way, and he wasn't alone. Mookie Betts did the same thing. So the Pfister Hotel has been called, quote, baseball's most haunted hotel.
What's it called?
The Pfister.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
That's reason enough to stay out of there.
And has been scaring baseball players for years, apparently. The hotel was opened in 1893 by Charles Pfister, and players since then have said they've been seeing apparitions of Pfister roaming the staircase. Hold on. The sound of knocking and pounding.
Oh no, that was
I know.
that was Mookie.
That was Mookie. Electronics turning on and off and objects moving. Hernandez did say that he doesn't believe in ghosts and he stayed there before without any incidents. But because his wife is on the trip, he had to accommodate her and make her happy. So they had to find another hotel. That being said, he said he spoke with teammates and apparently these incidents have been happening all week. So maybe there's something to it. Who knows? Midweek or major.
It's a funny story, but it's a mid story.
Oh, come on.
It is. I like it. It's postseason, ghost season, but...
Did you say postseason, ghost season?
It is.
See, he wrapped it all together.
It's postseason, ghost season, and it's a good story. It's a fun story. And I don't blame him. I'm not judging him for doing that. If his wife was uncomfortable and there was something to it, why stay there? No thanks.
I remember before we moved to Los Angeles, I stayed at the Hollywood Roosevelt once, and someone's like, it's haunted. My wife and I stayed at a, quote, haunted hotel in New Braunfels, Texas. It's fun. It adds a layer to your adventure. But I guess if you're trying to focus on the NLCS and your wife's like, yeah, it's haunted.
Yeah, but Rich, it's October and you can't really yawn. Because every time you yawn in October, a ghost sticks his junk in your face.
I've heard that.
So why would you want to take those chances at the Pfister Hotel?
Also, don't sleep on your stomach.
Whoa.
What? Yeah. Not at that hotel.
I think the story's mid, but I like it.
That's so good.
All right, thank you, Spot.
Thanks, guys.
Midweek Major, we do it every week on our afternoon show.
Thank you,
All
Spotty.
your fun stories that you might have missed. All right, now listen, coming up, before we get out of here, we appreciate Dan Patrick and the Danettes letting us fill in. What's up, Marvin? What's up, Seton?
Hey, guys.
What's up, who am I forgetting? Fritzy?
Pauly Pabst.
Listen, what we're going to do next is we're going to cross-reference everyone's power rankings a third of the way through, and let's be honest with ourselves. We'll decide, are these teams really the contenders, or is it just our week 6, 7 list? We'll get to it next.
I'm sorry. Did you say 6, 7?
I accidentally did. More
6, 7.
More CNR coming up.
You know, Rich and I proving without even trying how different we are. The guy was born with no chill, so he loves a nail biter. If your team's in a nail biter, it's almost hard to say you enjoyed the game because the Yankees won yesterday. But afterward, I'm thinking to myself, did I really enjoy that? I felt relief afterward, but I'm like, I don't even know if that was fun. That was so stressful.
You're right, though. We are cut from a different cloth because
yeah, mine's leather. Yours is like, I don't know what yours is.
Burlap.
Yeah, burlap or something. Some sort of burlap sack.
I don't care what mine is, but yours is definitely leather because you think you're like the Mexican Fonz. Oh, hey.
Where's leather, chaps?
It is interesting, though, because in all aspects of life, I do like that thrill of
panic?
Of panic and uncertainty.
That's
and
terrible.
I feel like it's...
For example, the Tigers are up 6-1, right? Rich says, you see this game right here? Tigers, Cleveland? I'm bored by it already because it's 6-1. I'm like, I get it because you don't care about either team. But Detroit Tigers fans feel great about that. That's my point.
But you know what would give them more a rush? They would have more of a rush if it was 2-1 still.
That's not joy. That's panic. And I think you have like a misunderstanding of what joyous feels like.
I'm a roller coaster guy. You're a teacup guy, I guess.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe I'm a Peter Pan's flight kind of guy.
What?
Have you ever...
You never went on Peter Pan's flight?
Have you ever had a...
No.
How do I say this politely on Fox Sports? Have you ever made love in a place where you could get caught? Where you're like, no way!
Risk adrenaline rush?
I must love that. And then you would think I'm a skydiver or something. I'm not. I just feel like you like very little risk and you like very little excitement. Like you seem like sort of a dud of a guy to me.
Jeez.
Sadie seems like a dud.
You like to be titillated, Rich? That's what you like?
Yeah. He likes a nail biter.
He likes titillation.
He thinks that's fun. You know, you realize that it's called a nail biter because you're nervous and you're panicky the whole time. Biting your nails doesn't equal fun. I think you were dropped on your head or something. You're misunderstanding. Put that helmet on. That Strauss helmet. Because that's not fun until it's over and they won.
I think you remember it fondly because of how stressful it was. Like I think of certain football wins for Iowa where they escaped and you're like, that was amazing. But only after the fact.
Here's the deciding factor. What do you guys think? Hit us up at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. We'll wrap it up with one more phone call.
All right.
We have James in Orlando. You're on the Covino and Rich show. 877
to your hair?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, gentlemen? Best show radio right here.
Thank you, man.
Talking to you guys. Yeah, first time in. I'm with Covino on this one. I'm a Miami Hurricane, and let me tell you something. All week I've been stressing about this game coming up on Saturday, and I am going to be wearing out the carpet if it's a close game.
No, for real.
I'm going to be pacing, and I want to blow out. I want to blow out so I can
relax.
Watch them kick ass.
Yes.
James, you know what? You said you wore out your carpet. I don't have carpets, but you know what I have now? I started off the night with a brand new pair of gold toe socks. They were mint. By the end of the night, they were screen door socks on the bottom. You know what I mean by
Mesh
screen door
door.
socks?
Yeah.
I already wore through a brand new pair.
No, they're down to the fibers.
His socks look like the dirty screens in My Cousin Vinny that the old lady couldn't see through.
There you go.
And my girlfriend, you know, I have a theory on this too, because girls don't burn through socks the way guys do. They don't.
We're actually heavier, too.
Look at your wife and girlfriend's socks. Both of them. If you have both, look at both of their socks. They don't have the screen doors.
If you have a gumad, look at hers, yeah.
They don't have the screen door troubles that we have, and my theory is this. They don't panic about sports the way we do, and they don't create as much friction as we do as big fat slobs. They don't have that weight friction pacing around watching a really tight fight or a tight game the way we do. Because my girlfriend hits me up. She's like, aren't you embarrassed wearing those things? I'm like, these are game day socks. What do you want from me?
Have you ever watched a fight with Covino? He's shadowboxing like he's Tank Davis or something.
It's a nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To do my best Aziz Ansari impression.
How am I supposed to do a radio show when it's so cold?
It's freezing in here. It really is. By the way, are you rocking some D'Angelo?
Hell yeah.
Let me fix my headphones here. Ah, the smooth R&B of the late, great D'Angelo. Rest in peace, 51.
When you take your shirt off and show everyone your D'Angelo lines.
I have the opposite. I got Covino.
Man, gone way.
No lines.
Covino curves.
Covino curves.
Gone way too soon. It upset me all day yesterday. Still feeling about it.
Yeah, I don't want to be, the preachy men's health guy, but guys, if you have insurance, even if you don't, go get checked out, do your blood work. As we all hit, 40, 50, we're all getting older, right? Go to the doctor. You got a lot to live for. Don't let things sneak up on you. That's my little message to you.
Thank you, old man Rich.
I got a colonoscopy for
65.
the first time this last year. You're in your mid-40s. You got to do these things.
Want to hear something personal? I got one scheduled. Get this. My first ever. Got one scheduled. What is this, old guy radio?
Well, no, you got to do these things.
Okay.
You got a colonoscopy scheduled when?
But I got it scheduled for Halloween.
Are you going to wear your clown costume to the appointment?
No, hold on. And I ran.
Be a ghost, wear a sheet. It'll make it easy.
I mean, now you ruined my punchline. So I no, because it's not as funny as yours. So I ran it by our boss, Scott. I said, hey, Scott, I want to give you the heads up that I got one scheduled, but the only availability was October 31st. He goes, colonoscopy on Halloween, what could go wrong? Sure, do what you got to do. And I was about to respond, actually, just now, like, so you don't trust Dr. F. Kruger with the procedure?
Dr. F.
You think Dr. Kruger's not going to be able to handle this?
Is he going to say trick or treat before he reaches in?
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. My colonoscopy doctor is Edward Scissorhands on Halloween.
It's going to be a nightmare on your cheeks.
Nightmare on my cheeks. Whoa. So, again, we're Covino and Rich live at the Fox Sports Radio studio.
Drop the mic and go home.
Yeah, that was a good one, Danny G. Go home now. Business fluctuations make running your manufacturing business complex, but staffing your business doesn't have to be. Let Express Employment Pros provide the workforce you need. Go to expresspros.com. Find the location near you. That's expresspros.com. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Take advantage of your insurance. You pay for it.
Nightmare on my cheeks.
Yeah, it's funny, man. You don't have faith in Dr. Kruger? What's the problem? All right, so tomorrow on our regularly scheduled program, our professional gram, we're on Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West, or you could just check our show on YouTube anytime. Covino and Rich FSR, get the podcast, join our bonus pod, Overpromise, lots of options on the YouTube page. But tomorrow, we do something called Old School When 50 Hits. We throw it back and reminisce when 50 hits on the clock on our regular show. And
hey, listen, while we have our Danettes and Dan Patrick audience, and it's a show we love filling in for the most. Thank you to Dan. Like I said, Marvin, Seaton, Fritzy. Who am I missing?
Paulie Pabst. Paul Pabst. He's on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say was we have the YouTube channel. I just want to urge people, just subscribe, check it out. It would mean a lot to us. YouTube.com/Covino and Rich FSR. At
Covino.
Oh my God, I'm getting choked up.
Oh, okay.
Choked up because your Niners aren't on any of these power rankings.
know,
Yeah, we're going to get to that. But again, tomorrow, Old School and 50 Hits, and we'll be talking Aaron Rodgers, getting you ready for Thursday night football.
All right. Well,
now, speaking of.
According to Pro Football Talk, NFL on Fox, and the USA Today.
No,
which
USA.
which I think they still throw under your door at hotels. They all have the Tampa Bay Bucks at number 1 on their NFL power rankings. Now, when
Is that legit or prisoner of the moment?
Well, no, when you do the prisoner of the moment is absolutely true because power rankings are based on now.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I mean, that's prisoner of the moment because that's where we're living in the present. But if I asked you realistically, if things stayed the same, do you feel like the Bucks are a Super Bowl contender?
Dude, if Baker Mayfield is able to play like that against your team with no receivers, how good could they be when they're healthy?
Mbuka is turning out to be a star.
Yeah. He's making stars out of all the Johnsons on the team and all these ancillary people, and that's what I believe Colin said that in the promo we just played. That's what MVPs look like. That's what they do. They lift everybody else, and he's been able to do that just on pure, not only athleticism and the way he's playing, just like the energy he brings to the team, man, is contagious, and you see it. So I do believe that.
And Bucky will come back. Bucky Irving will come back for them. On a couple of these teams' power rankings, NFL and Fox left off the Colts, but number 2 for Pro Football Talk and USA Today, the Colts. Do we really believe in Daniel Jones? As long as Jonathan Taylor's healthy and this guy's running amok on everyone, you can't really discount that team. They are playing as good as anyone, right? I mean, you can't just say, well, my preconceived notion is that they're not great. If they're playing the way they're playing, you have to have the Colts at least in your top 5, I think. I think the Lions, even though they did have a stinker against the Chiefs, I think the Lions, when all said and done, that's a team that is in everyone's top rankings.
They're in everyone's
Here's
top 5. Here's
the question mark that you can think about as you go to work today. Steelers. Do we believe in Aaron Rodgers? We joked about it at the beginning of the year, like, wouldn't that be crazy?
Well, guess what, Rich? We're going to talk about it tomorrow on our regular show.
Well,
so thanks again to all the affiliates. Thank you to Dan Patrick. Check us out, Covino and Rich.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Thank you, DP.
Goodbye, guys. Have a great one.